form or fashion.
Looking forward to seeing you out there tonight at the Peanut on State Line. We'll talk more about the U.S.'s match coming up at 11 o'clock. But obviously, looking forward to seeing some of you out there as well. It is now, as we know, inside of a month. This month, training camp starts, which means somehow the season will start much, much, much sooner than we realize. What is it, 70 days or whatever the hell it is away until the start of the NFL
Start getting
season?
your fantasy football leagues in order.
Oh, can't wait for those.
Hell yeah.
This jersey number days away until the first game of the season. I don't have to do any of those for Rashee Rice. He's a free man now. I did see while I was gone, he was running away from the reporter who tried to talk to him with a big smile on his face.
Yeah, the run looked good, you know?
The gate looked okay. Then he looked fine. That was just like a wild thing to see. And it's like, do you see the position you put yourself in? There's just video of you running away from the jail.
I'd be trying to run out of there too.
I know. I'm not saying you want to answer a question. I'm just saying this is the position you've put yourself in, I guess is what it is. Which brings me to a great topic to lead the show, which is what things that went wrong for the Chiefs last year are likely to go wrong for the Chiefs again this year. Because that's how I'm viewing what the basement is for the Chiefs this season. The things that went wrong, what could go wrong again? And look, Rashee Rice getting in trouble? It certainly could. I can't rule out the fact that he could hurt or in trouble. He's been hurt or in trouble every single day he stepped foot in the league after his first year as an NFL player. So I can't very well rule it out. I'd put it at a less than 50% chance, but certainly not zero. What about Simmons being hurt again? Well, he's been hurt the last 2 years as both a college player and a professional. So again, I got to put it at 50-50.
You want me to predict who's getting hurt? Is that what you're wanting?
But then I start going through the rest of the things that went wrong, as in they couldn't move the football. They didn't have a deep passing game. They were bad on 3rd and 4th and long at different times during the season. The one thing I'll say is those two things, the defensive stuff, I'm less worried about going wrong because I think they're better on the defensive line. And as far as the big play ability, how could that go wrong again when you brought in the best big play running back from the year previous and will have more, I think, for a chunk of the season, your weapons available? Do I think it's going to go gangbusters? No. Do I think it's going to go as wrong as it did that led to a 6-win season? No. I think that those are unlikely things to go wrong again.
Right. I think the team will absolutely record-wise be better. Now, some elements that cause this team to be a flawed football team, I still think has a chance to be there. Like I still wonder, as much as we talk about Kenneth Walker, I love the signing, and you're right on the explosiveness, is this offensive staff, Andy Reid most notably, are they willing to look at going under center more than they did a year ago? I know that was a huge topic that we had at the end of last season, and RPOs and how Kenneth Walker throughout his career mainly has been an under center type of running back, but doesn't mean he's not capable of being successful out of RPOs. And so that would be one of my concerns within the running game still, is are they still trying to make the RPO? Nobody's saying they eliminate RPOs. You don't want to eliminate RPOs from your offense. But are they able to be a little more balanced there and go under center more, while also knowing your quarterback, though, going under center coming off an ACL might be a little tricky. So that would be one element that are we going to still be complaining about that halfway through the season, that has hurt the running game, that it's predictable because they're in RPO, which is supposed to lead to unpredictable nature, but that's the opposite of what it actually did?
No, because when they get an RPO, what do? They pass. That's why it was predictable, Gold. Yeah. You realize that no one had a higher percentage of pass in run-pass option than Patrick Mahomes, right? Turns out when you give a quarterback who's really good at throwing the football, the option between throwing the football and running the football, and his running backs stink, guess what choice he's going to make? Pass. And look, the hope would be that in an offseason in which they bring in a guy like Kenneth Walker, that he would choose to run more knowing that he could trust the person behind him. And that if you give him the opportunity to do that, that they will make those choices. Over on Twitch, they were like, I don't know if he's the biggest big play threat in the NFL at running back. I didn't necessarily mean all time, but last year he was. He was one of the better 10-plus or 20-plus yard play guys in the NFL last season, Ken Walker. And that is easily their single biggest weakness on offense over the last couple of years. Yards per drive, they move the ball. Points per drive, they technically score okay. The Chiefs' offense in a number of areas technically rates all right. last season, at least when Patrick Mahomes was healthy.
Yeah, they didn't have the home run threat. The home run threat was not there.
No ability to make a 20-plus yard play, and Kenneth Walker does that.
He does. He's a home run threat. Xavier Worthy should be a home run threat, but we've talked ad nauseum about that, and that's the Patrick Mahomes deep ball being a problem. Xavier Worthy not knowing where he's on the field being a problem, too close to the sideline. That's where you would like to think Chad O'Shea can solve that, right?
You'd hope so. Or at least you'd hope that it would certainly help in that category. Look, that's been easily the most frustrating thing about Xavier Worthy. Since he's come into the league, he's getting closer to the line of scrimmage. No big play. And you're like, what was all that speed for? I thought you broke the 40-yard dash record at the NFL draft for getting downfield. But I think some of the issues genuinely had been, for a huge chunk of the season, the issues had been based on the idea that he just wasn't as consistent at it. I did look it up, by the way. 20-plus yard plays last year. He was fourth, actually. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Tied for third. Achane and Derrick Henry, the only Devon Achane, not the new Achane. And Derrick Henry, the only two guys who had more 20-plus yard runs last season. But when you look back through it, he had some passing plays too. When you look back through it, that is easily the thing that I would ask, like the things that went wrong, that's in the category of the things that went wrong. The pass rush. Unfortunately for us, that's one of those things that if I said, hey, that went wrong last season in a really bad season, could it go wrong again? I mean, yeah, it could go better, but I certainly can't predict that it couldn't go wrong again. They didn't add that much other than young players to the defensive line, and they are banking on the idea that some of those guys improve. I just like...
Can I throw another one at you?
Yeah, sure.
I hope this is not the problem, and ultimately, when you're in the playoffs, which the Chiefs were not in last year, he has been clutch, but hopefully we're not talking about the kicking game this season. That got lost in all the other problems, but
there were too many problems.
Harrison Butker was not nearly as consistent. And another offseason, hopefully removed from knee surgery or whatever it was that he had 2 off seasons ago. Hopefully that helps with that. That's an element too as well, right? And nobody's discounting what he's done in a Chiefs uniform. He's as clutch as they come in the postseason, which is ultimately what you want. But it was a problem in the regular season last year as well.
It's been a problem in the regular season for multiple years.
So I would put him down as somebody we'd be watching for to see, all right, does he get back on track as being one of the best kickers in football?
I hate to be kind of negative on it just because I think there were people there for a while that didn't understand the criticism of it. I think he'll be not very good. And the reason,
okay, all right.
And the reason why is he has been a below average to well below average kicker 5 of the last 6 seasons. So what, I think he's just going to magically find it again? No offense. The average kicker in the NFL makes like 91% of their kicks anymore in the NFL. He hasn't been above 90% but once in the last 5 seasons. He was a different kicker age 22 through 25. The last 5 years, they haven't been like that. Not in the postseason. I'm not trying to pretend like he still hasn't made some incredibly clutch kicks in the big time moments for the Chiefs during that time. But if you look at field goal percentage and extra points percentage, he's been well below average over the last 5 seasons, like the 21st or 22nd best on average field goal kicker during that time. And he doesn't have the leg that he used to have, and he's not as accurate from being used to have. And I think some of it is injury. I think some of it is just like...
It all happened post-2023. Because in 2023, he was 5th best kicker in field goal percentage in the football. In 2024, he dropped to 21st, and then he was 19th, I think, last year. And when you don't have the postseason, then that's all you have to go off of. Because in the postseason, we all know his track record. He's been one of the most clutch kickers in franchise history, in NFL history, frankly, in the postseason. And big-time kicks over the last decade, there hasn't been a kicker that's made bigger kicks. That nobody can take away from him. But in the regular season the last 2 years, to your point, the field goal percentage has not been there. And so that will be an element that I'll be keeping an eye on this year as well. And if that happens again, this will be his last year in Kansas City.
Like, my guess is that of the qualifying guys last year, he ranked like 20th, but I could look it up. He might be better than I thought in that category, but he's certainly not way up there. And he missed time last year, didn't he? Because like the injury stuff has been the other part of the problem where it has consistently got him. League average last year, he made like 86% of his kicks. He was right around league average, which when you're the highest paid kicker in the NFL, that's just not going to get it done. And he was well below that category when you start factoring in the fact of the fact of the extra points, which has been a consistent problem for him. And then the year before, he was 28th or 26th, in field goal percentage made. And so like, it's been a problem. It's been a problem over the last couple of years. There's a few of the things that have gone wrong for them that I don't think are likely to be solved. But I will say there are more things that I think are unlikely to be repeated as an issue. Like, I don't think they're going to have a problem getting big plays this year nearly as much as they have the last 2 years. Like, I think that is a problem that is not solved, but certainly improved, and improved in a way that you can just count on it being improved with the addition of Ken Walker and, maybe a qualified wide receiver coach, and the idea that I don't think they're going to be missing 2/3 of their wide receiver unit for half the season like they have each of the last 2 years.
Yeah, I would say just someone was asking more context on the kicking stats for Butker. Someone said they guarantee you he's also one who kicks the longest kicks by average. I can tell you that actually was not the case last year. So kicks above 50 yards. For example, there was, the Vikings kicker had 13 attempts over 50. He was 11 of 13. The Texans kicker, Fairbairn, had 13 attempts over 50 yards. He was 9 of 13. Cam Little, the Jags, had 10. Brandon Aubrey had 17. He made only 11 of them. If you're wondering where Butker was at in that particular scenario, Butker only had 8 attempts over 50 yards. Now he was 5 of 8. But if you're so
it's not a good percentage.
But the text was he kicks more long field goals than everybody else. I just gave you a minimum 5. I can keep going through that absolutely kicked more. There's actually Joey Sly, the Titans kicker, the Bucks kicker kicked more, the Seattle kicker, the Steelers kicker. There's at least 9 kickers that had more attempts over 50. So actually, I don't think that's out of context. Discussing that it's not just that he took a bunch of long kicks and everybody. Also, the whole trend in the NFL last year we were discussing was that kickers are making 50-yarders like it's nothing these days.
Yeah, and in fairness, it's like it's been since that 2023 season in which he was injured. He was 5 for 5 that year. He only made 5. He only took 5, though, and he made them all. But the year before Gold, he was 2 out of 5, so he only made 40% of his above 50-yard kicks. The year before he went 5 for 5, he went 3 of 7. He hasn't been the same really since 2020, 2021. He had a resurgent year in 2023 that looked like the bounce back, but then it was 2 bad ones after that. He has not been the kicker they have paid to have here in Kansas City. Matter of fact, he won't be in Kansas City after this season when the contract no longer necessitates the level of performance.
Yeah, since this is only a 2-year thing, you're trying to go back to like 2021.
He only made 75% of his kicks in 2022.
But the reason why I don't care what happened in 2021 and 2022, they were in the postseason and he was clutch in the postseason. The reason I think the last 2 years you can be way more concerned by it because in last year you didn't have a postseason appearance. Not his fault, but you didn't have a postseason appearance, and so you didn't even have that. Normally you have the postseason clutchness.
Yeah, you're saying you'll let some of the regular season stuff go.
If he's
I don't think it's unfair.
If he's average in the regular season, but in the postseason he's nails, which is what he's been in his career, I'll take it. The problem is last year he was below average and there was no postseason. The year before he was below average, and the postseason he was actually fine again. So it's more about that. I think the question will be whether or not the percentage goes up again, and then if this team gets back to the postseason, is he reliable then? That's all that people are going to care about and understand. And frankly, that's all I care about is if this team is in the postseason.
It depends. I care more about the regular season kicking now because I feel like their margin to get to the postseason is thinner. Yeah. Therefore, those regular season kicks matter more. So, like, I'm not saying that the postseason ones don't matter more to me, Gold, but the regular season ones matter more to me now than they have in a while. Because I think that margin of 10, 11, 12 wins is thin for them this year, and they're going to actually, need some of that, aren't they? But that's all. I'm just trying to think about the things that are repeatable or the problems that could come up. We can talk more about some of the other stuff maybe we missed during that conversation a little bit later on. You had mentioned over the last couple of shows, though, is the Royals got their ass kicked last night, if we're trying to keep it simple, and there appears to be more injury concerns over Chris Bubich's what we thought could be return, maybe slowing down here as well. You mentioned it, and I don't know that there's any other choice. Walker is their single best trade chip. And knowing the injuries they have to the other people who you would have been willing to trade, let's just say even hypothetically, aren't you now forced into trading Michael Walker at this point? Because he's without a doubt their best trade chip. And now with all the injuries of the guys that maybe you would have said, well, let's add it all up to try to get something out of it. Who is left other than Alex Lang or Daniel Lynch? Like, you're going to have to make a swing at this point if you're this far below 500. He's not only their best trade chip. I just feel like it'd be kind of irresponsible to not entertain calls.
Well, they're going to entertain calls. Publicly, they're not going to come out and say, we're listening to offers and all that. That's not going to. They will be listening and taking offers. If they haven't already happened, they will here very, very soon. Michael Walker is the only guy that can get really anything, I think, truly back that can help them in 2027. Everybody else, it's going to be pretty low on the totem pole. I mean, with all due respect to Alex Lang or Lane Thomas or anybody else, what are you really getting back for those guys? Not much.
This works. Just some random double-A player or A-ball player.
The tricky thing, again, with Michael Walker, he is definitely your biggest trade chip that realistically, because they're obviously not moving on from Bobby or anybody like that, so nor should they. So Walker could bring back the most, but then we once again talk about 2027. If you're an organization, and I think they are with Bobby Wood Jr. still around, that is trying to compete in 2027, that rotation, if you take Walker out of it, who the hell is in your rotation next year? Cole Reagans may not pitch at all next year, elbow surgery. Chris Bubich is a free agent. He won't be back. I don't even know if they can trade him anymore because reports are that he had a setback and he's back in Kansas City, not going to have a rehab assignment tonight.
So he only has 3 weeks, 4 weeks to get healthy.
Seth Lugo, okay. So let's mark Seth Lugo down if you don't trade him. So Lugo, Noah Cameron, maybe Avila, maybe Steven Kolick. I'm serious. Like am I missing somebody? Like it's pretty bleak. So
I mean, other than if you start going to like the minor league system, that's
they're
all
back in the free agent waters of getting another veteran pitcher.
Yep.
So that's the danger of trading Walker. But in a year where you normally, if you have a year where you bottom out, which the Royals are clearly bottoming out, you would like to think the only potential upside out of a year like that is you could trade away a lot of pieces and get something back. Because of the injuries, Carlos Estevez is not going to pitch at all this year. He had another setback. What a wasted season. What a disaster that was. So he's a waste. Can't get anything for him. We just mentioned Reagans. Even if you wanted to trade him, you can't. Chris Bubich, I don't think you're going to be able to really trade him anymore now. I thought they would be able to get multiple rehab assignments and then trade him. If the setback is a big problem, he may not be tradable. And then the guys that you listed off, maybe Daniel Lynch gets you something okay. But it's still a bullpen arm.
Yeah, and all the names I've mentioned to you are either an A-ball or double-A, all the minor league pitchers, if you're going to even... But even so, this is the problem with, and this is why they're not going to trade him willingly, in my opinion. What you're mentioning, Gold, is we still have an issue, which is next season this team should be competing again. I know that I'm asking you to erase how this season has gone in your brain. I'm just telling you, the Royals still have to enter next season and should enter next season with playoff expectations. Those get seriously dinged without Walker. It is way harder to make the argument because unless you're just like, they're going to start 19-year-old Kendry Churio in the major leagues, and they got other guys who are a little bit closer. But they're
going to have to trade in the offseason. They're going to have to trade some of their prospects in the offseason to go get some pieces. What's going to happen?
Problem is that the guys that we used to mention, like Blake Mitchell, he hasn't been performing.
He's not a top 100 prospect anymore. You see that? I know there's different rankings.
They got other guys who have come up.
MLB Pipeline does their updated rankings a couple days ago, and he's no longer a top 100 prospect in baseball because he has really struggled to not strike out.
Yes. And he's not strike out in a number that you can accept, as in strike out in an extraordinarily high rate.
The argument for trading Walker is not only the return that he could bring, but the fact that today, happy birthday to him, by the way. Today, he turned 35 years old.
Sorry, Walker.
It is his birthday today.
Sorry to talk about you being possibly traded on your birthday.
He's been awesome for the Royals. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
and been perfect for them. But are you worried that, is he capable of producing this way again next year for you?
I mean, it's always a fear, but he's so wide. Now, look, I'm sure somebody would have said this fairly easily about Salvador Perez up until this season. He has been so wildly consistent in his major league career. I have a hard time imagining a world in which he isn't at least somewhat close to the type of player he has been during this time. And so I have a difficult time worrying that that's going to be the case, and I do still want them to compete. So I am stuck in the same position probably the Royals are, which is I don't want a fire sale. I don't want everybody's available. Come shop them all up for the players that I think matter to them next season. We're talking about the other guys we mentioned in the world, the guys who are under contract for a single season. Anybody can come purchase Lane Thomas or Alex Lang or some of these other guys. That's fine. I'm not here to make some argument in that department. But I also don't want them necessarily selling off pieces that I think they might still need in order to be a competitive franchise next year, because I do still want them trying to.
Yeah, this is why I think they're in a really bad spot as an organization. We can talk about, obviously, the promise and positive of signs of Kaggs and Carter Jensen. Carter Jensen had another hit last night. His hitting streak continues. He had the home run in the first inning. those are huge positives. Those are future building blocks and the core of this team now. That stays put. But with all the other issues we've discussed about the pitching on this team suddenly, it's a big problem for them moving forward and where they want to go. Because like someone said, hey, why would you think that they should be trying to compete or why should the expectation be competing in 27? Well, because if this organization keeps the same front office intact, they're not punting in 27. No. And when Bobby Wood Jr. is part of your organization, you're not punting on any year. So
and Jack
that's why.
Caglione and Carter Jensen, like they've got young players that I don't want them just punting on seasons. The White Sox went from an absolute laughingstock 2 seasons ago to what the Royals should be this year, a highly competitive baseball team. You can turn things around somewhat quick occasionally in this sport. And when you've got guys like Carter Jensen's got a 20-game hitting streak. Jack Caglione appears to have been having a resurgent, like having the kind of season that makes it seem like his star power is still very real. They've got one of the best players in the sport in Bobby Wood Jr. I'm not looking to punt. Like, that's the problem. And that's the issue I will always have. You can just say fire everyone. I think sometimes fans get a little too happy with fire everyone, trade them all away. And I'm like, and do what? Hope that they're good a decade from now? I don't want to do that. I don't want to just restart. They have a lot of talent. I'm not saying they've got many problems, endless, countless issues, especially based on the way it's gone this season. But the idea of punting on all of it doesn't appeal to me. It might appeal to some, and that's fine. But that's not the end I want to do. And you and I are both a little bit slower to just say fire everyone, trade everyone away.
No, but there's only I have to go through. There's only top of mind like 5 players or 4 players that I wouldn't be willing to trade though.
The 3 I mentioned, I assume Bobby, Carter, Cags.
Yeah.
To start there, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
But Walker's to me, he's on the list of where you have to have a difficult conversation about how could you replace this person if you let them go? Because they are your best trade chip that makes sense to trade.
And
that's
I do
the
wonder,
way I'd put it.
And how much does, we just yesterday, how much time do we spend talking about the CBA stuff? That is the part that nobody can predict. How does that change how you approach this deadline and also how you approach next year? Are you going out and making signings next year? Because the CBA, once the CBA stops in December 1st, when that expires, and while they're negotiating, you won't be able to go sign anybody in the meantime, right?
Yeah.
And is the season starting on time? Is it not? Is it a half season? Is it a missed season? Like that plays a huge role in how the heck we discuss 2027 as well.
No, it adds a whole nother dynamic to it that we're all going to have to, I guess, figure out as baseball goes. We all know there's going to be a lockout. The question is, will any of these teams actually sign these players as an effort of like, let's get them paid before the new CBA, or does everybody wait because they don't know what's going to happen with the actual league?
All right, coming up next, we'll talk about something that could happen a bit more on a certain situation in the NFL, with a certain situation in the NFL. Plus, golfers and sports betting and being outspoken, the two mesh. We'll get to that next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in for the Chiefs Red Half Hour every day, starting at 11:30 right here on your home for Chiefs football, 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2, and Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their match day meat bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. If you have breast, head and neck, or brain cancer, proton therapy may be a better treatment than conventional radiation. Don't wait. Get your second opinion at Kansas City Proton Institute. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced proton therapy team. Learn more at kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You should never cross train tracks when the gates are down, even if you think that everything looks clear, because another train on another track could be approaching. And not all trains stop at all stations. See tracks? Think train.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a social media manager.
Did you just post our Q4 earnings to your personal social media?
Oh yeah, used a trending audio and everything.
That's confidential financial data.
Relax. It only went a little viral.
The SEC just commented with the eyeball watching emoji.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line tonight with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Brought to you by Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Visit ClimateControlKC.com. Climate Control has been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years and know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer. Schedule your AC system tune-up for just $49. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, we're just getting started here on a Wednesday. It's Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Coming up in just a bit, we'll get to what is happening in the NFL a year ago. Could we see it move even further in this direction based off of how teams approach fourth down 1 year ago? But golf wrapped up, the Travelers, I think it was last weekend, I guess technically Monday morning because of the playoff that had Victor Hovland winning that. And it was kind of a cool scene because fans from Norway who were here for the World Cup stayed, traveled to Connecticut from Boston, where they were already in Boston for the World Cup. So it was kind of cool to see the traveling party. But anyway, Jordan Spieth was talking the other day about just fan interaction, right? And how fans are rowdier maybe than they were in the past. Listen to this. I think it's really interesting. It prompted a conversation between the three of us last night because of the dynamic of a player being critical of a certain thing while also technically advocating for it as well. Listen to this.
I mean, I think the one thing that I'll point out is I do think that betting in golf is something that's going to have to be tackled here soon because I don't know how much of, say, the Wyndham scenario was the fact that it was enticing to bet the field versus Wyndham on Sunday in a legalized betting state. And you could have had people out there that are essentially, have $100 to $10,000, depending on who it is, on the field versus somebody else. And in golf, it's tricky because you could actually impact the outcome if you wanted to. It may not last very long, but you could impact a shot if you wanted to. I don't know of another sport that you could impact as a fan like you can golf. So I don't know how much that's having to do with it, if it's different than it used to be. I've also played rounds with guys who were not treated well 10, 15 years ago. So I don't think it's a crazy new thing. I do think the Bethpage Ryder Cup was, from what I understand, maybe a lingering effect from that. But I will say that from what I've seen, a lot of times it has to do with betting, and that is in the last 5 years. So we'll see what happens with that.
So that was Jordan Spieth. He was talking about fan interaction, obviously. And look, I think it'd be pretty naive to suggest that fans go to sporting events and might have money on said sporting event, whether it's golf or anything, and that might cause some individuals to be rowdier. I think we've had stories about this in the NBA.
Yeah, prop betting in particular, I think, is where people tend to have the conversation.
For sure, right? Like you're rowdier for that. Now, a couple things with it. Number one, I still will push back on this notion of that no sport can be impacted more by fans than golf. I'll call BS on that. I'm sorry that it's not dead quiet for you. So that's just to me like a golf thing that doesn't make any sense. The other part is, and the problem with it is not that he's wrong that there are people that go overboard with anything.
Make threats, all the other stuff.
Absolutely, and this is why I think last week we had a story that there was some discussion from the MLBPA that they wanted to ban prop bets because of harassment. And I said, look, I don't think that's a solution, but obviously the punishment through states' legislature should be stronger. If somebody is DMing athletes and threatening them, the punishment should be much tougher than whatever said punishment is now. So anyway, so it happens. The problem is for Jordan Spieth is if you go to his Twitter account as well, and he has multiple tweets, like 10 of his last 13 tweets, in fact, are him promoting FanDuel. Tee off for retweeting FanDuel's tee off for $200,000 for bonuses, and Spieth is featured in the ad. Or Jordan Spieth talking about NFL bets. A little Dallas Cowboys defense and a homer for Dallas Stars, or am I asking too much? Jordan Spieth's hot takes, and it's a graphic of him and his picks. So it's a little hypocritical for you to be blaming all this. If it's such a problem for you, then maybe you shouldn't be taking the check.
On all the other sports, just not golf. That's, and look, it's obviously massively hypocritical. Do I think that there's a chance that he doesn't even realize those posts are on his Twitter page? Yeah, probably. But that's still your responsibility to know what you are advertising. Matter of fact, 98%, 100% of every golfer in the entire league is endorsing one of those. So it's not crazy to do this. If they're asking for, I agree with you there should be stiff punishments for the people who do not understand how to not take it too far. So that part of it, the threatening people like you said via DM or shouting. You want to kick them out so they can't go to any PGA events because they can't be quiet? That's fine. Now, I've always made the argument about I think golfers and tennis players just make way too big of a deal about every other sport has to deal with sound and that you just get to be the one sport that doesn't. I actually think we should just eliminate all quiet in golf. And it should just get to be as loud as possible moving forward. I genuinely think that. It should be like every other sporting event. in which the home field or anything else advantage could take place. Now, the issue is, similar to like the NBA, they are on top of you. So you can actually hear the things they're saying. But you and I have sat in seats at Kaufman where if I yelled something at Vinny before he went to go take a swing, he'd hear it.
For sure.
So it's not like the other sports are immune to that. The problem is that you're the wrong voice if you were promoting it. If you think the betting shouldn't exist in golf, then you shouldn't endorse betting products. Like that's my just general thought on it. You just shouldn't endorse them if you're completely anti it in that capacity.
I don't think Jordan Spieth is anti-betting, though. That's the thing. I think
just
that
on his sport, though, that's crazy.
No, I don't think he's anti-betting on his sport either. I think that he has a similar. He said something in regards to how you can affect the matches, and it's got to be tampered down a little bit. Him saying they need to tackle gambling doesn't mean they need to get rid of it. Obviously, he likes betting. He's an endorser for FanDuel, just the same as Max Homa, who had this actually happen to him 3 years ago, where a fan yelled in the middle of his putting stroke. He made the putt, but Max Homa was pissed off afterwards and went at and kind of yelled at the guy. Max Homa loves that you can. He said that he loves you can bet on golf. He's an endorser of BetMGM, has been for 6 years now. John Rahm is an endorser of a sports trading app. He also commented on the Max Homa issue.
So they're hypocrites too, then.
But why is it now where this is years ago that this happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that.
So I don't know why everybody's up and is causing a fuss over Jordan Spieth saying it when nobody who is complaining about this and has a problem with this didn't complain for Justin Thomas and him saying it, Rory McIlroy and him saying it, John Rahm and him saying it, Max Homa and him saying it, because this has been a conversation now for years.
Yeah, I can't answer why it got traction. I'm not responsible for the Twitter algorithm. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know why.
Might just be that they went to his page and realized it's the only thing he posts.
I don't know why Spieth's comments, if you're saying they're very similar to Rahm, why those did not get the same traction. It's a fair point. I can't answer that. I would call them slightly hypocritical as well, though. But I don't know why. I actually like Jordan Spieth quite a bit, so this is not an anti-Jordan Spieth thing. I think if they made the exact same comments and they also days earlier had a Facebook post or a Twitter post about FanDuel, then it is a little hypocritical. But at the same time, two things can be true. I think you can say, hey, it's a little bit of a conflict of interest considering your endorsement of it, but also acknowledge that that there are fans that cross a line at golf tournaments. Absolutely. We'd all be lying to ourselves if we said that never happens. Of course,
that's every sporting event.
But again, I don't think Jordan Spieth is saying get rid of gambling.
I don't think he is either because he's getting a check from him too.
No, what does he mean when he says we need to address gambling in golf?
For the same thing that Max Homa and Jordan and Justin Thomas and John Rahm and Rory McIlroy said. Rory McIlroy said the same thing that Jordan Spieth said. Nobody said anything.
But what are they saying, Drew, is what I'm asking. What is your assumption about the vague sentence of we need to address gambling in golf? What do you assume he means by that?
When I'm in the middle of a swing, don't yell pull or shank it.
But that's not...
Max Homa had him, like Max Homa had it happen to him in a match. Rory McIlroy had somebody yell in the middle of his backswing and talked about the betting aspect of it. Nobody said anything when Rory McIlroy brought it up weeks ago.
But is it fine if he yells in someone's backswing if he just hates the guy? I don't think that this is a betting thing as much as it is just
but that's what
they would like decorum at the golf course.
But that's what Jordan Spieth is saying. Jordan Spieth said he didn't know if Wyndham was because of betting, but in his experience in the last 5 years, it has been majority of the time gambling. Jordan Spieth said that he didn't say it was gambling with Wyndham Clark, but he said in the history of his experience of the rowdiness of fans more during these regular tournaments.
So what would he like them to do? Kick them out or stop betting? You're assuming it's kick them out. Or police it in some way.
I think that's what everybody's saying. I think Roy
fine. That has nothing to,
I don't know why Jordan Spieth is getting blasted for this when Rory McIlroy said the exact same thing like 3 weeks ago. And he's been going through this, and nobody had a problem when Rory said it, but now all of a sudden, Jordan Spieth is a problem.
I'm just talking about the bigger issue. I don't care. I'm talking about the bigger issue. You're making it more about why are we mad at Spieth versus another? I don't care about that part.
Know what the other people
because they said the same thing as him years ago, and nobody said anything.
Right, I didn't know they said it, Drew. I didn't intentionally just be like, I'll let Max Homa off the hook.
That part, I guess I don't care about that. But if we can disagree on the part that whether or not the sport has an issue with it or not, that's to me that's the conversation. I don't care if to me the discussion isn't interesting if we're discussing why did Spieth get criticized in another goal. I don't care. It's not even about Jordan Spieth. It's the nature of the entire argument. The point of my discussion is not to make a point that Spieth shouldn't be allowed to do it, but another golfer is. I told you, I think they're all hypocrites if that's the case. Now, I think you've taken it to the extreme, Cody, of like acting as if we should now turn it into a football atmosphere at the golf course. Like
that's not new.
That might be a bit extreme.
That has nothing to do with Spieth. That just is I've grown tired of, because like the type of complaining that people say, because I've watched some of the genuinely horrendous things people say to athletes all the time that they have to hear. And it's gross. And that's across every sport, and there's no difference in all of this other stuff. But there's only a handful of sports that think that they should get to play in like perfect conditions.
But John Rahm has openly said, and I think all players say this for golfers, when there's a roar in the crowd, you can't control that. There's going to be noise. John Rahm said there's a constant buzz of noise of just people talking in the first place when you're swinging. You hear that noise. So it's not perfectly quiet all the time, but also golf and tennis.
But if I get above a decibel, then
golf and tennis have always been this way. So it's just the way that it's been. It's not like people, when they invented the game, said, hey, you got to be quiet for all these shots. It's just a part of what has always been golf and tennis. So this idea that they need to change it or they need to deal with the environment, it doesn't make any sense because it's always been that way. I understand that it's only two sports, but they are unique compared to nobody's yelling when curlers are going. Nobody's yelling when figure skaters are doing things in the Olympics. But
I wouldn't care if they did that either. But I don't know if there's a rule against it.
I don't get the idea that they need to change the sport because other sports have to go through it. Every sport is unique in different ways. There's noise during the golfer swings. There's a buzz that's not the same as it is when somebody's throwing or playing basketball. Or again,
then just punish the individuals. This has nothing to do with, I guess, the larger part of the problem is my issue, Drew, is that this isn't the first time somebody yelled. Like, I remember Tiger Woods yelling at somebody taking a photo in his backswing long before sports wagering was legalized or anything outside of that. So just punish the person who commits the thing. You don't have to make I guess to my sense is you don't have to make some grand statement about the state of gambling in golf. Is it somehow that this is the first time somebody's said something during a backswing, or you don't like the reason behind why
the only thing
they're doing anything while actively promoting that product?
No, I understand, but the only reason that this is becoming more of a conversation is because over the last 5 years, we have seen an uptick in fan behavior being or crossing that line in golf. And even Jordan even said it in his answer was, I think the Ryder Cup, when it was Cam Young versus Matthew Fitzpatrick, that really bolstered everybody to be rude and cross the line. Like the American fans crossed the line with Matt Fitzpatrick, and that had nothing to do with betting. But doing that felt like I don't know if it gave fans an incentive, but that's what Jordan Spieth is saying is since we've had sports gambling legalized, there has been an uptick in crowd behavior that didn't necessarily exist at the consistency that it does now.
I think I can make the argument that social media was the bigger problem.
And a majority of the time with Max Homa in particular and others, it has been gambling related things where they're telling you in the middle, like as you're walking down,
and I'll concede,
yo, I got $3 on you. You better not miss this putt, or in the middle of your swing, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, and again, I'll concede. I absolutely think that happens at golf events and other sporting events as well, and it's why I think, especially if it's obvious who the individual is that's doing it, there should be a strong punishment. My thing, and we can move on. We got to move on to something else, but we'll revisit this later, I'm sure, is still that it's not the best look for Jordan Spieth to say that, or any of the other golfers that apparently have said the same thing, when then right all over your social media feed, you're saying, come join me at FanDuel and bet with me. That's all I'm saying. You can't. It is a little hypocritical. It doesn't mean that what he's saying is inaccurate that's happening. It's just, maybe this is where PGA should step in as a governing body or whatever, and they should be trying to promote the message of where they're at. It puts the golfers in a bad spot, but you can't, whether it's your PR person sending out tweets promoting FanDuel.
Yeah, it's tough.
It doesn't make sense when you're saying, hey, this gambling stuff's a problem. Meanwhile, come join me on my parlay tomorrow night on the NFL game as well. Like, it doesn't fit very well.
The message lands hollow, or more hollow, I guess, when you do it that way. Let's talk a little bit about the Royals, though, as they got beat last night. And I was thinking more about the future stuff that we were talking a little bit in the opening segment of the show, but as it relates specifically to two players. I do not understand the argument outside of this. The best future plan for the offense for the Royals involves both Jack Caglione and Vinny Pasquantino. And I'm interested to hear the argument on the other side of it, if somebody has one. 913-586-7965. I'm certainly more interested in that. But, like, I'm sorry. Have you watched this offense? What universe is it? Let's let Vinny Pasquantino go and just let Jack play first, and then we'll just Solve what? Right field again? They've been looking for offense at these positions for years. They have 2 qualified offensive hitters at right field and first base when healthy. So I don't understand this notion of just because Jack's played well when Vinny's been gone, but the offense overall has been bad, that I'm trying to replace both. I still think their long-term option, at least the next 2 or 3 years on offense, should involve both. I'm not trying to get rid of Vinny just because Kaggs is hitting. And that's what I...
Well,
I think I need both bats, I guess is my point. I don't understand this notion of just because Kaggs can't play first, I want to try to replace right field now.
No, they need both bats in the lineup long term. I would just say also the talk about moving, like the trade value for Vinny Pasquantino is not enough to move on from anymore because of the injury and where he was at this year, unfortunately, at the dish. So, if this was a situation where he was hitting the cover off the ball, and the trade value was super high and you only have a couple years left of control, that's a different conversation. Now he's way more beneficial to you than he is to another club. You would not get even if he came back healthy next week, which he's not.
No, he's still got a few more weeks,
you wouldn't
right?
get it.
August?
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. And then it's the handmade injury, so it might be into next year before the power's back, whatever. The value you would get for him because he's had such a bad year is not enough to move on, right? That's all I'm saying. I think there would have been a real conversation if he was playing very well and the team was struggling, knowing that you have Kaggs. Then I think there'd be an argument that, hey, could you get enough back to make it worth it? You can't get anything back that's going to be better than ultimately what he could provide you possibly in 27 and 28. So
this goes back to like
you're getting bare bones stuff for him when he comes back healthy.
It's some of this is the idea that the argument I used to get in with people about quarterback, which is, well, I can get 80% of Vinny Pasquantino for 50% of the price. I don't want 80% of Vinny Pasquantino. He is a good, and like somebody said, he stinks. His career has not indicated that. He had a bad start to this season. Not trying to pretend like
he's bad this year.
I'm not trying to pretend like that's not true. But in his major league career, that has just statistically not been true. So like maybe you think maybe you want to make an argument for overrated. Not you, but like maybe someone who missed the argument for overrated or some of these other things, fine. If they want to do that. But I don't think you understand where Vinny statistically, even not last year, where his single best season was, but just in the course of his time, how hard it is to get a bat just at that level. It's not as easy as you want to make it seem, at least in that case. And I guess I disagree with they've played better on offense since Vinny's been gone. I haven't run the numbers, I guess. They've scored 7-4, 3-4. I mean, they had one 14-run game and one 10-run game in which they lost. So I don't make it seem like they haven't scored any runs. But since in the last few, 3-2, 1-1, 5-4. So, like, maybe they covered for a while, but it's certainly crashing back to earth in his absence anyway.
Yeah, the reason why I agree with you, the only reason why I'm agreeing with your take now is because the value for him in the trade market, if he was healthy,
I don't care if his value
would not
is good.
be good.
I don't want to give up good bats.
If he
they
was,
have enough offensive problems without not having his bat in the line.
If he was hitting well and I only had a year or two left of control, I would be open to seeing what I could get back. But you're not getting anything back that's going to be worth moving on from the impactful bat that he can be. But I told you 2 months ago, I think we have already unfortunately seen like the best of him. That doesn't mean he's going to be a bad player next year.
You're saying last year might have been his best season as a Royal or in his career.
Yeah, I think that might end up being the peak of his career performance-wise. That doesn't mean that I think this year is who he is moving forward. But yeah, I mean, I'm not as dead set, though, as you are on, like, never having Kaggs play first base. I don't think that's a problem. Remember, he's gotten way better as a right fielder, and his arm is awesome, but his position, 90% of his baseball career was first base.
Sure, but I guess I'm like, my thing is that it's working on that end. Not that he can't play first base if Vinny wasn't on the roster. My argument is, like they said, hey, Vinny, they need to trade him to improve this roster. No one they trade Vinny for will be better than Vinny, is my argument. Unless they get really lucky, unless they find some AA guy who magically turns into it. The odds of you finding somebody better than Vinny in the trade are low.
I agree with you now because his value is so low, there's no chance. That's why I wouldn't do the trade at some point, and even in the offseason. To me, it makes no sense. I'm telling you, if he was performing anywhere near he was last year, I think there'd be a real conversation about could you get multiple pieces back that better you.
And
but you're not going to.
Engaged in trade conversations with him in the offseason. I remember the Luzardo one and a few others that got mentioned, and he's even joked on this show about the trade rumor that popped up on his wedding day of all times, where he had to talk about it with his agent. I think sometimes we're in, and look, and maybe this is what I'm surprised sometimes is not you, because you're saying at the moment you wouldn't trade him. But this goes back to like this an argument I think you've made for quarterbacks in the NFL, and I don't understand, which is this trade-up mentality of you'll just win everything and slowly improve. Vinny Pasquantino's career, a 260 hitter with a 330 on base, and let's call him a 20 home run hitter per season. Over the last 3 seasons, he's 19, 32, and he probably would have been around 20 this year. So let's just call him a 20 home run hitter. Those guys just aren't on the street. Everyone thinks it's let's make a deal, and just like they're the I'll start with a paper clip and own a Porsche at the end of it version of trades, where they think, no, this is what you'd hope to trade for. Like if the Royals make a trade this offseason, they're like, we need another bat. His production in his major league career is what I'd hope I'd get. So like I don't have to trade Vinny Pasquantino away. I like the production I'm getting anyway. So like I'm just not in a rush. And I know you're saying that's based on relative value, based on the injury and all this other stuff. I don't understand this notion of let's just have Jack play there and then we'll solve our offensive problems, when that's been a hard thing for this team for the last 5 years.
I get what you're saying. I guess now we're kind of saying the same thing.
We're in agreement. I just meant in general. I wasn't talking about yours.
Because I was going to say, I mean, if he would be, if this team was playing the same way and Vinny was healthy, but he was hitting 275 and on pace for 35 homers, there'd be a lot of value for him. And I would argue that this team has way more problems that I could get pieces that could help in the future.
Yeah.
He hasn't done that. He's hurt. So even if he came back healthy before the deadline, which I don't think he's going to, I wouldn't be interested in trading him, because I don't think you're getting, to your point though, you wouldn't get anything close to back to what the potential is for him. But I don't know if that was always the scenario. I guess what I'm saying. I don't know in the offseason if that was actually true. But
yeah, I mean, I'm saying my argument's obviously
you have to be transactional. You know this. Like I mean, and they've talked. JJ Piccolo, they claim they're going to be way more transactional. At times, I think they have. This past offseason, I would say, despite the move they made that involved Isaac Collins, I don't think they were transactional enough going back to last year's trade deadline. Whereas it backfired. It blew up in their face, but they get paid to get it right. You know, they did not move on from Bubic and Reagans, and both those guys who had an injury history, did not come out of nowhere, had an injury history. Both are unable to stay healthy. Carlos Estevez, who wasn't quite ready next year, it worked out for him last year in a big, big way. They got the ultimate prize, 42 saves. This year they said, slow start again. He'll figure it out. This time it blew up in their face.
Yeah.
There are other
moves
goes
I
both
would
ways.
have made. He's just not one of the ones I do. Just knowing their offensive issues and the middle of the order stuff, and especially now that Salvador Perez might have offensive problems going forward, I'm not looking to replace all the offense, I guess, at least on that end. But, there's lots of different choices inside of there.
All right, coming up next, let's talk about what is going on tonight. The U.S. men's national team taking on Bosnia. How could that play out? They better win, that's for sure. Hopefully you'll join us at the Peanut on State Line. We'll also talk about the NFL and Brendan Sorsby. It seems like they've come to some sort of agreement. That's next.
You're listening to Cody and Gold. Tune in to hear Royals insider Josh Vernier every Wednesday at 12:30. Cody and Gold is brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
I'll be watching some soccer tonight. In fact, actually, a match is about to start here in about 5 minutes or so. The biggest stage in world soccer is here, and every goal changes everything. And FanDuel's giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. It's back tonight, by the way. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. So more goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now and get in on Every Goal Pays. That's FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Opt-in required. Must apply bonus token. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Our nation's 250th birthday calls for a really big party. And Hy-Vee is here to help with really big savings on everything you need. Load up the grill with tender baby back ribs, just $3.28 a pound. Whole seedless watermelon, only $4.48. Frito-Lay chips for $2. And Pepsi 8-pack bottles or 12-pack cans, just $3.99. Stock up on your favorite beer, wine, and spirits and get the party started. This Wednesday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Soccer Fever is in Kansas City, and Hy-Vee is your headquarters for official merchandise, apparel, tailgate, and watch party needs. And Hy-Vee makes game day so easy. They have ready-to-go wings, pizza, party trays, charcuterie, and, of course, all those delicious sweet treats. If you're planning a cookout, great. Hy-Vee's special recipe brats, burgers, and steaks are the best. Check out their Match Day Meat Bundle for only $30. And don't forget about Hy-Vee's wine and spirits department. For all of your game day needs, count on Hy-Vee.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hi, I'm Carter. And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack. Jack had a home he needed to sell fast. And Jack thought he had it all figured out. So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers. Jack chose the highest offer. But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out, leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do. Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer. Jack got suckered. Make sure you aren't hung out to dry. Call our dad at Rex Buys KC. Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals. No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises. Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process. Now, don't be like Jack. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
11 o'clock hour here on Cody and Gold. First match of the day just underway down in Atlanta. That's England and the DR Congo. England, a massive minus 1,200 favorite against them. They were the winners of Group L, ended up getting 7 points in Group L. It's the first match of the day. Of course, tonight, the U.S. men's national team taking on Bosnia. The U.S. significant favorites as well, minus 600. It's half the favorite that England is here in this particular match. The U.S. will get going at 7 o'clock out west. Hope to see you guys at the Peanut on State Line. Everybody from the station is going to be hanging out there at 7 o'clock this evening. And hopefully things go well for the U.S. I think we've all acknowledged that this would be disastrous if the U.S. does not come away with a win tonight to move on. And then the challenge really steps up against potentially Belgium if they handle their business earlier today as well. But do you think this is going to be like a game where we're sweating it out? Or do you guys think that this could be more like after 40 minutes like France yesterday where they kind of cruised to victory against Sweden?
Look, they're favorites for a reason, but I don't think it's going to be easy. Like, I'd just be surprised, I guess, at this point if the U.S. has got any easy matches left, even in once they hit the knockout round. They're a good team. They've got maybe more talent than we gave them credit for going into it. And I had said going into it, they weren't playing good soccer leading into the World Cup, which didn't exactly elicit a lot of confidence going into it. But I think in order for this to be easy, like the stars are going to have to show, and they're going to have to score goals early, similar to that as Mexico did last night. And like, I think in order to make it feel easy, they're going to need to get like that early goal that we've seen a couple of other matches where they can maybe sit on it a little bit, because Bosnia's going to have a hard time scoring. So like, at least from that end. But every second that goes by with no goal being scored and the U.S. holding that advantage, I mean, I got to say.
Well, the pressure's all on the U.S.
That's where I start feeling like the pressure just compounds. Not like the pressure's on the U.S. anyway, but it compounds over and over and over again. The longer this thing is 0-0, or even let's say Bosnia gets one early, it's 1-1.
That's a different conversation.
We've seen what happens when Bosnia or a team like that gets the first goal. And then all of a sudden you feel this like pressure-packed moment to get something going before half. That's where they run into real problems. But I expect the U.S. to control it. They're just a more talented team. I just don't think it'll feel easy because I don't think there's going to be a lot of like shots on goal. I don't think the U.S. is going to be overly aggressive, I guess, against Bosnia. So I could be wrong.
I still think they'll be aggressive early, but I think you're right on. In the worst case scenario is Bosnia somehow gets a goal on you early, and then they're really allowed to pack it in and suddenly play for, at that point where the pressure's all on the U.S. and ultimately a lot of those countries would love to get to extra time and, of course, take their chances at PKs.
Has it felt like as big of an advantage for the U.S. as it does for like when Mexico's playing at home? Like Mexico's likely to get UK in Mexico City if I think England wins today in this match. Like they're playing in, Santa Clara. Does it feel like as big of an edge for the U.S. playing on their home soil? The first two matches would make you think that much. Do you think it's a huge edge for them in a matchup like Bosnia versus, let's say they were playing this any other country in the world, Qatar or any of the other World Cup cities across the world over the last 2 decades?
From like a geography standpoint, no. But from they're playing home and Bosnia doesn't have many fans who traveled like that. So I would say yes.
Will it be an advantage? But once we get past this round, will it feel that way? Let's say they take on Colombia,
the U.S. will, unless the U.S. gets far enough where they play Argentina or something, the U.S. is going to have the home.
I think they would outgo
advantage.
Belgium in the next round if they were there, yeah.
Do you like them confidently tonight, Drew?
Confidently, I mean, I think they'll win. But Bosnia are just they're an interesting team because they're super physical. Like I've just doing some research on them. They've scored a lot from set pieces. They're a tall, physical team. And I don't know if I think that's going to be part of the strategy, I would assume, going into it, is to be a little bit more physical. Particularly with the Dutch and Moroccan match, it feels like they're letting them play a little bit more without carding, at least early on. It just it's given off that vibe here in the knockout stage where I think that Bosnia might be able to get away with a little bit more physicality in this one. I think they'll try to make it uncomfortable, particularly for Christian Pulisic, especially knowing that he's still dealing with some of the injury stuff. I know he's fine, but going into that, I mean, that's something that you might be able to use to your advantage. I think it could be one of those matches where it's just 0-0 at halftime, which would be a little bit nerve-wracking. But I think that just from the standpoint that they have, the standpoint that they have nothing to lose, they've also been very good from set pieces, as the Congo just scored.
Wow,
1-0 over England.
Hey, okay.
Was he onside? I didn't see.
We'll find out in a second.
Don't know.
But that's what just happened there. If that goal stands, that's exactly what we were discussing with Bosnia. Like if Bosnia were to get an early goal, it's a huge amount of pressure now. Some even in this game against on England when you give up a goal in the first 7 minutes. But yeah, we'll see if it stands. But that's a stunner. This early, with plenty of time to go, but a stunner. That
it is only the 7th minute.
Yeah.
Stylistically, Congo match up a little bit well in terms of what they do, I think.
What's the odds drop?
Was Congo the team that got through the entire round without winning? They just had 3 draws to advance?
No, they had 1 win.
Okay. I couldn't remember who it was. One of the teams was Cape Verde. One of the teams advanced just getting 3 draws. I can't remember who, though.
Yeah, England, we just mentioned, they were minus 1,200 before the match 8 minutes ago. And they're now minus 270 to win. So the odds dropped significantly.
England are going to get a bulk of their chances. It's just, can you get a good enough look and do you execute it at this point? I mean, that's a lot. I mean, it feels like this tournament, though, is producing some unpredictability with what's been going on, where teams that aren't supposed to win are hanging in, because there's quality throughout the tournament. I know that the rankings are the rankings and the odds are the odds, but there's legit quality across every single club. They play in big leagues all around the world. Like they're not able to just think they can skate by Bosnia and Herzegovina, because there's quality, and the way that they play is very physical. So it'll be interesting to see the style of match tonight.
I would really love to see them play another match, like in a knockout round, like they did the first 2 matches, or like France yesterday, where
you want it to be comfortable.
From the very beginning, you could feel the absolute pressure France was putting on them. Like Mbappe, and they were just making, Elise, they were making everybody incredibly uncomfortable the entire time, Drew.
Yeah, you're like, was hanging on for dear life.
You almost can't, you couldn't breathe, is what it felt like. After like 30 minutes into the match, you're like, oh, we're getting suffocated. I want the U.S. to have, because they're not going to get another match like that the rest of the way, most likely. So if you were a heavy favorite against Bosnia tonight, suffocate them. Put them in a position where like they feel like they can't take a breath, or they're going to let this game get away from them. Versus the other version. And maybe we'll get lucky, and that's the kind of matchup we'll get tonight. But obviously we'll have more reaction tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be fun out at the Peanut. Drew's bringing the Vuvuzela or whatever, and he'll be ready to rock and roll. Cody has not confirmed if he, as we said yesterday,
I said I was rooting for
you were, but you haven't said if you're.
Oh, that's right. Nobody had a Bosnia jersey for me.
Yeah, you were asking for a Bosnia jersey. Just disgusting. just disgusting.
I'm rooting for the U.S.
Most of us will be actually rooting for the United States of America during the World Cup match tonight.
He was
onside. Yep, they just were doing a quick little check. Good to go.
He was quite onside.
They flashed a graphic up on the screen there for England when they concede the first goal. They're 1-5-17 when they concede a goal first.
Oof.
And their last whatever it is.
At this rate, they would take going to extra time.
What can I get now? They were minus 1,000. That's what I said.
They're minus 270 now. Oh, wow. They're minus 1,200 before the match. They're minus 270 now. The Congo are only 2-1 now. If you would have bet the Congo pre-match, you're like, oh, you know what? I got good value.
I might hedge.
now you're like, shoot.
If I had a 12-1 ticket, I might just hedge and bet England if I did that.
Them and Cape Verde are the two stories of the tournament to this point, because it's both their debuts, I believe, as well. So the fact that they've been able to do what they've done is very impressive.
That guy for the Congo just scored his first international goal ever, and it happens in a knockout stage of the World Cup. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I guess a team that probably...
it's our first World Cup appearance in 52 years, and they're in the knockout stage, and they're up in the 11th minute. They're up 1-0 on England.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Mamba didn't get his visa approved by
the guy that stands there.
There was somebody else that was doing it for him in the in their final group stage match. So I wonder if they've got that same individual today. But there's been some visa issues with Lumumba, unfortunately, with the U.S. To get into Mexico was totally fine. He was there.
Right.
Yep. But now that they're playing here in the States, it hasn't worked out as well.
We'll keep an eye out on that match and the others. We'll talk more World Cup later on in the show. There was big NFL news yesterday, which was Brendan Sorsby has decided to drop any legal action against the NFL as part of a lawsuit he was either attempting to file or actually did file over the lack of supplemental draft for him, specifically as it related to his gambling infractions outside of there. Look, this is a pretty simple one. The NFL managed to give Brendan Sorsby the same thing they do for any player who gets caught wagering when they shouldn't, which is a 1-year ban, and then we'll see. They gave him a 1-year ban. They convinced Brendan Sorsby that it was not worth any legal action against his hypothetical future employer to pursue it, and they keep him out of the NFL for a year. Therefore, they don't have to worry about it when he enters the 2027 draft. This should have always been what Sorsby did. He got to the right outcome, but he had to be bullied into it, unfortunately, by the NCAA and then, of course, by the NFL. But in the end, this is what should have happened. Sit out for a year, get a hold of your addiction, and then we'll talk. You know?
Yeah, I mean, what really should have happened way back was in January. He should have just entered the draft then, and instead of trying to pursue college for another year.
If he knew that this was coming down,
Well, he knew. Nobody else maybe around him knew. He knew. Maybe he wasn't willing to admit it, but he knew he was gambling, right? Maybe he didn't know he had an addiction yet. Maybe it took some time.
I don't know what they would have done then. Suspend him, I guess, for a year? I think in the end he was never going to play this year in the NFL.
That was going to be that would have been the Keyshawn Boutte thing again, where like it happened in college. So how would the NFL have handled it? But no, he found out that suing his future employer is not a great idea, and that he probably wasn't going to win that case anyway. So now he's going to enter the draft the way he was going to enter the draft if he would have played college football. Except now, hopefully for his sake, you spend the next 6 months plus, get your life together, right? If you need to continue to seek treatment for his addiction, by all means, I hope he gets the help he needs and gets that part of his life sorted out so then he can focus on football in the spring, right? And get set for the combine and get set for the draft. And then there'll be plenty of time to talk about how teams view him then. Is he a second-round pick? Pretty good quarterback class coming out, so I don't think he's going to be a first-rounder after sitting out for a year and with the talent.
No one will have seen him play. It'll probably be like a fourth.
But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, this was probably the best path for everybody at this point.
I mean, he was always going to have to sit out. Like, I'm sorry, but like, you don't get to play for a year. It's like a suspension for anything else. If you bet on the sport in which you play, every league essentially does this, Gold. You sit out a year, and then we'll talk to you down the road. Now, some just do permanent banishment if you bet on yourself, right? Like in Major League Baseball.
They're not really even, by the way, they're not even really banning him. The supplemental draft hasn't happened.
This to me is a soft ban.
But I don't even think it's that, man. Like, to me, the NFL did not ban Brendan Sorsby. The NFL said...
I view it like they did.
See, I don't think so because Brendan Sorsby, the only reason why he was trying to get in the league in the middle of the summer through a supplemental draft is because he realized his path in college football was going to probably still close given the pushback that was happening.
Yeah.
So he was worried about that risk and having to sit out. The NFL said, you gave us 3 days notice and you didn't really show much accountability. We also can decide not to do a supplemental draft anyway. We haven't had one in 5 years or whatever it is, so we're not going to do one. And this update today that he's not eligible to the draft, that was always the case. The only thing that changed today is his team said, all right, we're not going to even try to sue you, NFL. That's it. I actually don't think it's a ban. This was the path moving forward. The supplemental draft is not meant there to be there for, you immediately screwed up in college and we're your fallback option. That's what he thought it was. The NFL said, no. We're not going to be here to bail you out.
They started having those conversations earlier, as you know. They didn't apply, obviously, until much closer to the deadline, as you pointed out. I view it as the NFL's attempt at a soft ban. I know you don't see it that way, and that's fine.
They definitely didn't want it to be a problem ahead of the league.
They didn't want him in the league this year.
Yeah.
And I think they would have found a way to ban him if he had decided to go through this lawsuit and they would have made his life hell. They'd have made it harder. I think this is one of those like soft threats, like pursue this and we'll see if you're eligible for the 2027 draft. We have rules against gambling in our thing. And they are still saying we have the right to investigate and we'll continue to investigate and all this other stuff outside of it. But I don't think the NFL was ever going to let him in to the league this year. Supplemental or otherwise, right? I guess supplemental is the only available option left of it. But had he managed to get himself in the draft and then the NFL figured this out, they'd have suspended him, I think. Or have found a way to suspend him under the collective bargaining agreement just based on the way of trying to prevent it. He could have stopped all of this. Some of this is like, after all this, do you see how stupid they all look too, by the way? Tech and him and all this fighting and all this nonsense. You're right back where you started. You were never going to play in the NFL or college football this year. And for some reason, you decided to make a big public show like you were the hero who was being wronged just because you made some horrible decisions. And look, you're an addict. I'm glad he's seeking help for all that. But now he's got a year to practice football and all this. I guess I'd be surprised if he's higher than like a fourth or something next year. Third or fourth? I don't know.
Yeah, again, and for a reminder, the other reason why I just don't think it's a suspension is because the only pathway would have been the supplemental draft. So this is not he never could have just signed as a free agent. That'd be different. That would be suspending him if saying like, yeah, you can't sign as a free agent. He
Which you can't unless you come through the draft, of course.
And that's universal. That doesn't. That has nothing to do with what he's admitted to doing. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be a story in January, February, March of next year, heading into the draft and the combine, ultimately for Brendan Sorsby.
It's I don't know. It continues to be. And look, he's lucky it didn't happen in the NFL, where he may.
Oh, he wouldn't be allowed to ever play.
Yeah,
he'd be done.
Yeah, I mean that's what stands out is you're lucky you didn't do this while a member of the league, because then you'd really be up against it. I still wonder in the end what Texas Tech was doing, trying to like play the martyr. Like, oh no, we've been horribly, like, we didn't do anything wrong. Even after it all settled, they were like, we don't regret any of it, and it's like, oh gosh. Honestly, you know what I would do if I were Sorsby? I would take this year, one, to get help. I think that, and he's obviously working towards that anyway, so great. I would. That's the bare minimum. Definitely do that. Get help. I would go talk to high schools about the dangers of gambling as a young person. I'd volunteer my time to, like, hey, if you decide you do have a problem, here's how you get help, and here's how you can get yourself in trouble by doing it. Become an advocate, essentially, for responsible gambling, or become an advocate for this is how you can get in trouble if you don't take the responsibility seriously. Or the things that
I think that's the path potentially down the road. I think he needs to get his life in order if, in fact, he is addicted to gambling first. But down the road, let's say he gets into the NFL next year and he ends up one day starting in the NFL and appears to be on track and everything and has got his life figured out in regards to all that. Then I think, what you're suggesting would be a great story at the end of the day, that he becomes an advocate. I don't think that's going to happen in the next 6 months. To me, that'd be pretty quick if it's as serious as he claims. It is. I know people are skeptical if he was just using that to try to get out of the problem. Is he actually serious about fixing his problem? I actually don't think he's lying that he has. 9,000 bets, $90,000 in that period of time. That is a very high number of bets. I hope he's as serious, though, about going through the program as he was when he thought it was what was going to save his college career, right? That would be my only question. Was he only doing the treatment and willing to go to treatment because he knew that was his path to getting back to college football? Now that doesn't matter, is he actually still going?
Can you stay out of trouble for? Look, it'll say a lot to the NFL teams if you can keep this addiction under control for the next year. We've talked about this, I don't know how many times on this show. Just stay out of trouble when you're already in trouble. Easier said than done on occasion, so we'll see kind of what comes next.
Trash of the day.
All right, we go to Sarasota, Florida. Have you been to Sarasota, Drew? Cody, either? You have been?
I have not been to Sarasota.
That's in that same area, that like Tampa area or whatever.
Okay, all right. So Sarasota, Florida. There's a father that's going to have to appear in court after police, Marine Patrol unit, stopped an 8-year-old boy on a jet ski last month. And there's video, and there's a screenshot of clearly a kid on a jet ski by himself, nobody else in sight.
Okay.
And
just cruising around.
The police or the Marine Patrol said, quote, "Where's your parents?" In the body camera video posted on Facebook, the boy pointed toward where his parents were, brought officers over to his father. Officers spoke to the boy's father. He explained that he didn't think his son was legally allowed to ride, but claimed his son was very proficient. And by the way, in the state of Florida, you have to be 14 years of age to operate personal watercraft. And so it's a second-degree misdemeanor. But I guess the question would be here, like, it's lake season, 4th of July coming up. I'm going to the lake this weekend.
Yep.
At what age would you, I know what the law says, okay? What age would you
Not
be?
8?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, look, should wait till you're 14 in Florida. That's the law. But 8, see, like 13, I'm sure people have done at 13 or 8 years old, though, that seems a bit crazy.
So I will say, I think this might be the difference between, and I'm not saying I'm of this ilk, but I've been around. So, like, you grew up in the suburbs of Johnson County versus, like, country kid. And I grew up in the suburbs of Jackson County versus, like, country kid. Yeah. I think we have to consider the fact that I've seen kids who grew up in the country and they're running combines at 8, or just, like, whipping around on a dirt bike at, like, 4, jumping hills and stuff.
Yeah. But you can get a farmer's permit pretty young, though. We're talking about jet skis on the water, and you're more likely to danger other people in the water than you are on your own land running a combine.
Some people, there's part of me that think that this 8-year-old might be more proficient on a jet ski than you.
Well, maybe so. I have fallen off. I have fallen off a jet ski before. This is true.
Sarasota, it's like he could be in those, like, backwoods Florida area where just, like, No holds barred. They've just been like wrestling gators since they were 4. I don't know.
Someone said
my kids like 18. I'm not letting them get on a jet ski until they're like adults.
Someone said
I'm near them first.
Someone said in Florida, where the law is 14, they would let their kid do it at 12, even though they know it's not even though it's breaking the law.
Enough. What's the law in Missouri? Does anybody know? What's the law in Missouri for someone to ride a jet ski on their own? Could be different in Missouri. We got no laws. Missouri. Practically zero.
Well, in Missouri, there's not a traditional watercraft license, it says. This is a quick Google search. Operators must be at least 14 years old.
Okay,
Operators
so
under 14 must be accompanied by an adult who's at least 16. Complete state-approved boating safety, pass the final exam.
So they got to be 14.
What it looks like. For a quick Google search.
And cannot ride alone unless they're 16. They can drive it at 14,
Okay.
but I still got to be on like the craft with them. But at 16, they can physically drive it on their own.
Someone says even for the farmer's permit situation you're talking about, you got to be 14 for that, too.
Somebody says, started to date, had to stay in a cove with my parents so they could always see me. Not a big deal at all.
Yeah, this kid was
He's
out in the open water, out in the ocean. You know, that's a little bit different than the
You ever
lake.
had Boat Patrol stop you? I've never had Boat Patrol stop me even once. At any
No,
of the lakes
give the wave as they go by. It's the wave. Hey,
Just a little, good to see ya.
Yeah.
I got the life jackets
just
in
the
here.
wave, yeah.
You know, the cursory trying not to get in trouble with.
I'll be on a jet ski this weekend down at the Ozarks. Yeah. Be all
Again?
good. Yeah, of course.
Do you ride with the same?
I've gone on the jet
Okay.
ski since I flew off a jet ski before. Yeah, I've gone back on. You know, you got to get back after it.
Yeah, got to get back on that bike, you know?
Yeah, just a little more cautious when I'm out there. That's all.
You make the turns a little more carefully?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, I don't
A little less speed when
I
you're
don't
whipping around.
gun it as much in the turn as I used to.
I know that I've seen people who grew up in like the country area, and it's just like the kids are like a different breed.
I mean,
they're just like it's just a whole different type of childhood I can't even understand. Like the first time I was on a dirt bike, I was like 10, and the kids I was riding with are like, "You don't know how to ride this thing?" I'm like, "No, they never just put me on 2 wheels and a 100cc motor to let me whip around in a giant field before." I grew up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
We didn't do any of that. Although we did used to try like sleds.
I mean, you hear stories of like
jet ski, Drew?
Have I ever jet skied? Oh yeah, it's a ton of fun. You go left and you veer, and then you turn around and you just ride the waves and you're.
I'm not good at. I'm always afraid I'm
You
gonna.
don't like the
tip
jet
it.
ski?
I don't like jet skis.
fun,
It's
man.
fine, but it's just like
You
I like
need
the
to go
boat
full
better.
send.
Yeah,
The full send, it's a lot of fun.
Jet ski's a ton of fun. Yeah, big fan of the jet ski. Although this weekend at the Ozarks, by the time you get to Saturday, the main you're gonna have to stay in the cove. You go out on the main channel, it's gonna be way too rough with all the boat traffic.
Unless you got a big boat.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With a jet ski, it's gonna be way too rough on the main channel. Like so, stay in the cove after. By the time you get to Saturday, maybe Friday morning you can go out and it's not too bad. But Saturday or Sunday, it's gonna be
nightmare.
The main channel at the Ozarks is gonna be so packed and rough. So that's the trash of the day. All right, coming up next, Chiefs Red Half Hour. Talk more about things that went wrong a year ago. How likely are some of those to continue? And is this grade actually fair, according to one national pundit, for the Chiefs offseason?
This is Cody and Gold on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament is heating up here in the U.S. and on Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening stage all the way to the final. We're obviously in the knockout portion of it now. Like, for instance, we're watching the match right now. If you happen to think Congo's going to get this done, they're trading. A $100 trade could see a $281 value, for instance. Or if you think, I don't know, I think eventually England's still going to get it done. A $100 trade there could net you $145 in profit. It was just $340 a few minutes ago. That's because over on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, so things can shift, meaning there is no house, and as probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. So you could have bought in at 340, sold out at 280, or vice versa, and make those decisions over on Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code TAP, T-A-P-P, to get $10 when you trade 10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade the beautiful game. 18 plus only. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risks and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Country music superstar Luke Bryan. Live. Word on the Street Tour. July 9th, Morton Amphitheater. With special guests, Shane Prophet, Ray Lynn, Lauren Watkins, and DJ Rock. Tickets are on sale now at livenation.com. Don't miss Luke Bryan in concert.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
If you miss being able to finish a road trip playlist on a road trip, we can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
This 4th of July, light up the night with Freedom Family Fireworks. We're family owned and packed with the biggest deals of the season. Get buy one, get one free specials. Grab the Godfather assortment for just $5.99 and get free Excalibur shells when you spend $250 or more. With locations in Liberty, Lee Summit, Pleasant Hill, Cameron, Chillicothe, and our air-conditioned superstore at Highway 291 and 210 just before the Missouri River. Visit freedomfamilyfireworks.com. Then stop by your nearest Freedom Family Fireworks location today. While supplies last, see store for details.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Here's a World Soccer Championship Team Spotlight, brought to you by the first ever Infiniti QX65 and by Lowe's. Members get more at Lowe's.
Australia's Socceroos are a combative, never-say-die side built around European-based players hungry to prove themselves. Their athletic midfield and a clinical forward who can finish in tight spaces make them more than capable of upsets.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line tonight with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Royals coverage brought to you by Metal by the Foot, your metal project superstore.
At Metal by the Foot, we pride ourselves on delivering the highest quality metal to meet your exact needs. Located in Casey and Topeka, online at metalbythefoot.com. When you need a piece of metal, remember, metal doesn't have to cost an arm or a leg, just the foot.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour here on Cody and Gold. Let's talk about the offseason a bit more. Then we'll get into what went wrong last year and what is likely to still be perhaps a problem for the Chiefs in 2026. You guys can interact on the Jay's Southland Tow Service text line 913-586-7965. Also, the video stream is up and running. So ESPN was going through offseason grades for every team, and they gave the Chiefs a C+. They broke it down to biggest move they liked, move they disliked. So they all involved Trent McDuffie, basically. So biggest move, of course, was trading Trent McDuffie to the Rams. Duh. Move they said they liked. They said they did like the McDuffie trade. The move they disliked was trading up to draft Mansour Delane at 6th overall.
Those two seem incongruence, though. If you like them trading McDuffie,
right? What'd you expect?
Shouldn't you want them to have a guy like Mansour? Or is it the trading up?
It goes back to the reaction right in Pittsburgh, which was from a lot of fans that thought that they could have just stayed at 9 and just draft him. We'll never know for sure. They clearly felt like they had to trade up. Well, it's the scenario that none of us can ever prove, which is if they would have stayed at 9, would he have fallen? There were reports that another team, maybe the Commanders or who was it, the Saints or some other teams were going to go up and perhaps get him. Who knows? Maybe that would have happened. Maybe it would not have happened. C+ though, does that seem about right?
They lost a lot.
They did.
And the hiring of the offensive coordinator, I mean, if you're an outsider, that's not exactly inspiring, is it? To just bring back Eric Bieniemy. The O'Shea one you could say is inspired a little bit.
Still a wide receiver.
The bringing in of Ken Walker you could say is a big time move. But they lost more than they brought in, and the single biggest personnel hire was offensive coordinator, and they just brought back a guy who they had before. I think a B-. I mean, I might jump it a bunch, but I wouldn't. I'd be lying to you if I came in here and said I thought the Chiefs had an A offseason.
No, it wasn't an A.
That's not how I view it.
No, and they had a lot of issues to address.
B-.
And I still think, while we acknowledged it yesterday, did they make you feel good enough about the pass rush in the offseason? I think the answer is no. It doesn't mean it's going to fail, but
and the offseason not technically over. They could still do more,
fair.
But
if Cam Jordan was still out there and they all of a sudden, and he's not, and they signed Cam Jordan, then I think you would say, oh, you got to bump the offseason up to easily to a B, if not a B+. I would actually say, but that's not happening. They signed Tyreek Hill or Stephon Diggs. It doesn't bump it up much higher for me than that. I think for the offseason that they had, did they address multiple areas? Sure, but did they do it enough where you feel great about the pass rush? And that, to me, to get into the B+ or A category, they would have had to address pass rush to where you feel very confident about it. And maybe our Mason Thomas works out. I hope he does. And maybe Gelati steps up. That's not an offseason move, though. That was last year's offseason move. Maybe Peter Woods or Tonga have cause a big difference in the defensive line. If that happens, then we look back and say, wow, those were really, really impactful moves, draft/free agent signing. But yeah, I actually think a C would have been a C or C+ makes a lot of sense. You did trade away. I have no problem with it, but you traded away an All-Pro. That automatically is going to probably ding somebody in their grading. Whereas I haven't looked at it. My guess is they gave the Rams an A+ because they went out and got Myles Garrett and Jalen Watson and Trent McDuffie.
They gave the Chargers an A. A-, sorry.
Okay.
An A-. They said the move they liked the best was the Mike McDaniel hire as it related to Justin Herbert, but they didn't like that they didn't spend more money at guard, and they didn't particularly love their draft, but still gave him an A-. At least, and then let's see, what do they do with the Denver Broncos? How do they rank them in the category?
Shouldn't be much higher than a C+. So, yeah, I mean, I understand they traded for Jalen Waddle, but I'd be surprised if it's much better than that. Okay.
So trading for Jalen Waddle, the biggest moves, the moves they liked the best were Singleton and Justin Strand being there. They disliked the re-signing of J.K. Dobbins. So they like the Broncos offseason better. They like the Chargers offseason better, although they always like the Chargers offseason better. So let's take that with a grain of salt. And then they gave the Raiders a C. The biggest move was just drafting Fernando Mendoza. Right. And then
a new head coach, too, does that count?
The move they liked, they said, was trying to trade Max Crosby. But it didn't succeed.
You get points for trying to trade him? No.
No offense. That should be the move you dislike. If you liked the idea of trying to trade him, you should hate they ended up back with the Raiders. That failed.
Yeah, that doesn't make
They didn't get rid of him at all.
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, the Broncos, I like the Waddle move. I don't really view their offseason much better than the Chiefs, though. I know they're starting at a better spot, 14 wins from a year ago. The Chiefs being a C+, and I would have been fine even if they gave them a C, would just be because, again, the pass rush and then also wide receiver. They drafted Cyrus Allen. That's all they did. They brought back Tyquan Thornton.
Yep, they did nothing at wide receiver, except for their wide receiver went to jail for 30 days. That was the most notable thing at wide receiver this offseason, is that, guy had to go to county or whatever. So it was real jail. But so
I think it was Dallas County jail.
Okay.
I think.
So this version that was the most notable thing at the wide receiver position, and the defensive line. The most notable was Peter Woods in the first round and R. Mason Thomas in the second. So I don't want to make it seem like they didn't do anything to address defensive line, but they certainly didn't bring in veterans. They're banking on George Karlaftis and Chris Jones and some of these same guys who have been, I guess, carrying the freight, at least on this end, for some time. We can talk about the things that go wrong here in just a minute. But honestly, it's like sometimes I want to get at these articles, and maybe people would like it better if we came on the radio and been like, I can't believe that they would give them a C. It feels about right, man. Like, what did they do that felt A-worthy other than a huge move for Trent McDuffie, trading him away, and getting back what I thought was good value for him? But the only way it turns into a B or an A offseason if Mansour Delane is immediately as good as Trent McDuffie. Like, immediately as good as him. That's the only way to get this offseason up to that par pretty quick, is that he's got to be one of those type of guys. The Chargers one is easily the most fascinating. Finding out what difference Mike McDaniel makes for their offense is an unknown. I'm very curious by it. I would have been interested in him in Kansas City. I like the hire for the Chargers, but this is also like the 78th OC he's had. And no one's yet to fully unlock all of this, winning they think that Justin Herbert's going to do. They win. They made the playoffs the last couple of years, but his numbers have come back down to earth a little bit during the winning. Harbaugh's neutered him in some ways to the point that the offense doesn't look nearly as fun, but they win more football games. So do you care? Except for they don't win in the playoffs.
And that's where
that's just kind of a mess.
That's where you said with Mike McDaniel, let's see what the offense looks like. Because under Harbaugh, it's no surprise he came over from Michigan. That offense is not the offense that's just going to open things up and let Herbert, go out there and lead the league in passing yards. Now, with Mike McDaniel, let's see what happens. But with Harbaugh in general, when he got brought on, it upped the bar for that franchise. But for Herbert and Harbaugh, that's not the best QB coach pairing that you want if you're Justin Herbert.
I got to say, I don't think you want your best offseason move to be, I hired an offensive coordinator.
It's not discounted, though.
I don't want to discount it, but I don't think you can have an A offseason if your single best move was, I just found a guy who might be able to help the offense.
By the way, if he does a great job, he's there for a year. And he's gone.
And he's gone. He might be gone for a year if he does a mediocre job.
Yeah, fair. Now, I don't know. Do they have one of his other assistants that's there with them and they just promote him? I'm not sure the dynamics. But if McDaniel does a nice job, he will be a head coach again in 2027. I think we all agree with that, right?
How many different OCs? Yes. How many different OCs has he had?
Well, how many coaches has he had? 2? How many coaches has Herbert had?
3?
Is it 3? Who? Okay, you had.
Do we count McCoy as the interim or whatever?
No.
He has 2. Okay. Staley and.
Yeah, he got in the league in 2020, so it's been 2. So bare minimum 2 OCs, now 3 OCs, maybe 4.
They have had, so since 2020, they have had Steichen, Lombardi, Kellen Moore, Greg Roman, and now McDaniel. 5.
Oof.
He's had 5 different offensive coordinators. Roman only made it a season or 2 seasons. Kellen Moore only made it a season. Joe Lombardi made it a season, and Shane Steichen made it a season. Now, a couple of those guys left because they got jobs. Yeah. Shane Steichen, as we know, got a head coaching job. Kellen Moore took an off. I don't think he got a better job. People thought he was going to be.
He went to
coach.
Philly right after, right?
Yeah.
I do think it's hard to have sympathy, though, for Herbert having that when Jalen Hurts has had as many and has 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 win, and Herbert doesn't have a single solitary playoff win.
Correct. And none of us even really respect Sirianni. Like we if we all voted right now, do we think Harbaugh's a better coach or Sirianni?
Harbaugh's a better football coach overall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's not even Hurts is being hurt by that too. And it still hasn't topped. Now, admittedly, they've got roster issues and other problems, but Herbert's postseason stuff, that should, I don't know why. I don't feel like that stink has followed him the way it had or did people with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert should be getting crushed for it. He has been awful in the postseason, and his
I think
teams
it's
have
finally
done
starting to
nothing.
happen a little bit. I think it's finally starting to happen now, especially if this year with Mike McDaniel it also doesn't work for them. Then I think it would be a major red flag for everybody towards Herbert for sure.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what comes of it, but still.
Sorry, I paused because
did Congo score?
DR Congo almost should have scored. Almost just went up 2-0 on England. It was a great ball across the middle, and I don't know how they didn't score, honestly. So, yeah, sorry. That's why I paused in the middle. I mean, that was point blank. Oh, just my goodness. They were about to take a 2-0 lead heading into halftime.
England have also had 3 point blank chances that they've missed, too. It's been wild back and forth.
Yeah.
Fun match so far. Better than maybe, I guess, the odds would have told you it was going into it.
A lot of time left.
The Chiefs, though, we know they had a pretty bad season. Just 6 wins, obviously, and everything went wrong for a million different reasons outside of that. What of the things that went wrong are likely to stay, and what of the things that went wrong are just a 1-year problem?
Yeah.
So, first off, some of the offensive line issues they had, we didn't discuss that in the first segment. Those, to me, are not likely to stay. Simmons should be available a chunk of the season, and I'd be surprised if they went through another year where Trey and all the tackles were hurt again. It's just not the type of position I guess I overly worry about. I think they'll have more consistent offensive line play. The 2 problems are, the things that are the most likely to stay are wide receiver play and defensive line play. I think they're likely to get more big plays. I think they're likely to get more sacks, but how many more sacks? And because they didn't improve those units dramatically, those feel like real issues. And can they, and this is the biggest question I think you have to ask is, are there issues in creativity as it relates to the offense likely to stay or be fixed with Andy Reid this offseason? His entire career goal, every 2 years, he solves these problems typically, and he goes to a different style of offense that at least changes part of what they're doing. Are you a believer that Andy still has that switch up in him? And then after 2 years of what has been pretty stale offensive play, that the addition of Ken Walker alone, literally Ken Walker alone, and Andy Reid having an offseason to look at his playbook is actually going to change the way they play offensively.
Yeah, the part that I would wonder, not that Kenneth Walker can't be more explosive, it's still it goes back to the whole RPO conversation and running under center or not. And are they going to be willing to go under center more? How does Mahomes' injury play a role in that? We know they were very predictable in RPO, even though it's not supposed to be predictable. It's supposed to do the opposite. And they were. Mahomes was not handing the ball off much under when they were in RPO. And so that part of it would be my question. So not that Kenneth Walker can't be explosive, but when they should be going under center or even in short yardage, are they a better team in that regard? Last year they were good in short yardage because of Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
Right? Kareem Hunt is not going to be on this team anymore. So how do they handle short yardage this year? Do they trust and lean on Kenneth Walker? I think the answer has to be that. I know we all like Emmett Johnson.
Why did you sign him if you're not going to
paying him almost $15 million a year. He gets first opportunity in the red zone. I know Drew has brought up the red zone scoring a lot. Kenneth Walker, with the amount of money you're paying, he has to prove to you that he can't get the job done in the red zone before I'm giving my second or third running back an opportunity in the red zone this year or at the goal line this year.
And this goes back to the whole thing. It's Kenneth Walker should be able to be good in short yardage. You're paying him that amount of money and you gave up that amount to get him. I don't understand this idea of why he wouldn't be your short yardage and your third down, and you're I think he should be in a 60-40, 65-35 timeshare. And that might not sound like enough in your head, but that's a lot. That makes you borderline a 1 in almost every single team in the NFL. There aren't a bunch of 80, 20, 90, 10 timeshares in the NFL. That doesn't exist. Like, that is Drew, you know this. That's a unicorn. Jameer Gibbs doesn't get 90% of the snaps.
Yeah, no.
You know, and he won't this year, even though David Montgomery's gone, and instead it's Isaiah Pacheco.
I do think Isaiah Pacheco, in terms of like that red zone stuff, if they run stylistically the same way that they had when David Montgomery was there, Isaiah Pacheco is going to get his fair share of carries, particularly, I mean, in those short yardage situations, if they're in the red zone or whatever the case is. I think going in line with like the Kenneth Walker thing is not only like are you using him, but like in the red zone, but are you using him in those situations under, like in single back, like where Pat's under center, or are you going shotgun? Because if they're going shotgun, then that's a problem that we've talked about for the last couple of years that they're still doing with Kenneth Walker, even though he's on record saying, I'd rather run with the quarterback under center. That'll be the fascinating thing, and going back to Andy adjusting, as well as what does it look like when they run the ball from a formation style most of the time?
Sorry, I got tied up briefly on a live video with two people atop the Empire State Building. Did you see that, Drew?
Wait, what?
No.
There's two people scaling right now?
They're on the top of the Empire State Building. They're not scaling anything. They're already up there. They're like
for someone
at the top.
For someone that hates heights, I'm just oh my. And they're carrying a flag. Is it some activist thing? Is that what's going on?
They're like at the spire. Something power, love. I don't know.
Okay.
The power of love. Something. I can't read the whole banner. It's moving too much in the wind. But yeah, probably some sort of either political or
power of love beats the power of the world knows. I don't know what it is. Yeah. Huh. Anyway, no, thank you. No, thank you. I hate heights.
What's the number? There's always a number.
No, Cody.
What's the number?
You would die. You wouldn't be able to scale the top. You'd be dead
they'll
too.
They'll give you ropes or whatever.
Nope, there is not a number. I hate heights. You know this. There's Cody. No,
this is.
I've told you one of my great fears.
$100 million doesn't get you to the top of that thing.
No, one of my great fears. Can they sedate me and just carry me to the top, please, so I don't know anything that happened? You can do that. Knock me out and then take me.
Your body's not going to allow you to climb any further. You're going to get to a point where you just freeze.
It won't. I told you one of my great fears is being on the Mamba or something at Worlds of Fun, and it breaks down, and we have to walk down the steps. I'm serious. You guys would have to. I would have to be put to sleep and dragged down.
How do they get you down? They offer you a helicopter ride
for what? For this?
Yeah. You just climb back down.
I'm watching the video as well
What's
right now.
What's the fine, I guess, for that?
The unidentified people appear to be wearing masks. Oh, you're going to jail for this.
How are you going to get off that building and they don't know where you get off the building at?
You're not. One of the climbers appeared to have gone down on one knee and proposed to the other. There's a proposal happening atop of the Empire State Building. That's the update.
That's bold as hell.
Yeah, no, seriously. It looks
proposed?
It looks like a proposal. Yeah.
Well, I got to say that's
I mean. There's a joke there somewhere, but no, I that's what it looks like. This is a comment from.
You don't like a stadium proposal. How do you feel about a top of the Empire State Building? That's unique.
Risked his life to propose to you. You know.
Yeah, no, it matters to him or her. Or I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, I don't.
Maybe it's a non-traditional proposal.
Yeah, I do not know if it's a male and a female up there. I can't tell from the angle that we have.
Just trying to climb, just casually on a Wednesday, climbing up to the top of the Empire State.
The whole banner reads, "When the power of love beats the love of power, the world knows peace."
And then he proposed up there?
They're 1,400 feet above the ground. Nope.
Drew, you got a number?
Police are working to get them down.
They give you safety gear. How long would it take you to get to the... how much money for you to climb to the top? No, how much money?
Yeah, but I'm saying from like I have to scale the whole thing?
I don't know. We'll get you part of the way up.
I don't think I'd be able to.
Like physically?
It'd be more of like a mental. It'd be more of a mental thing, I think, for me too. Just, I mean, physically it'd be tiring, but if I had the rope and stuff like that, I don't.
You think that your brain would also just say stop climbing?
They have no ropes. They're free climbing.
Yeah, make way too big a deal about that one guy free climbing. These two people just went up to the Empire State Building, no sweat.
Cody, I think I would. There'd be a point where like my brain would say like I'm done doing this, and I'm not necessarily like it's time to just come get me. Like I'm not.
I like this. Police are trying to get him down. What do? Just get a bullhorn at the top of the thing and be like, "Hey,
come down, please.
Can you please get down?"
I mean, the police officer. I mean, do they get obviously a fire?
The fine on that's going to be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, do they get firefighters to go up there?
I don't know. Do they bring a parachute? They don't look like. They just look like they're in clothes.
You get a helicopter and you just have them come up
and do what? I mean, you can't get the helicopter that close to the top of the Empire State Building.
I think they just recognize eventually they're going to walk down. I mean, they were trying to make a statement of some sort with the flag, and so they'll walk down.
I mean,
eventually.
The fine doesn't get more if you hang out there longer, right?
I don't know, but they might be responsible for the police resources needed. They might get charged with that. Have to pay for that.
Interesting.
I'll say this again. Please, this is like one of those situations. Like they shouldn't have to risk their life to save these two idiots that are climbing the top of the Empire State Building.
No, get yourself down.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that.
No, we've already said this when it comes to like Everest or some of these other things. It's like it's on your, like, I'll beat you when you're down here and you're in trouble, but I'm not wasting any, like, hey, we need a helicopter ride? Nope. Tough luck there, pal. Nobody made you climb to the top of the Empire State Building. It's on you to get down. Have you seen there's like this beach, Gold, has a massive hill down. It's like a massive hill
beach?
Down to the beach. And they put signs at the top that says, hey, if you climb to the bottom of this thing and can't get back to the top, it's $10,000. That's
Where's this at?
That's the rescue rate to get to the top of the beach.
Where is it at?
Let me look it up.
In the United States or another country?
I think it's a different country. It is Sleeping Bear Sand Dune. If you get stuck look it up. Sleeping Bear Sand Dune. If you get stuck, they're just like, look, if you get stuck at the bottom.
Lake Michigan.
So
it's in the U.S.
This has nothing to do with us. You can't climb back up. It's $10,000 to get your ass back to the top.
This can cost up to $3,000.
$3,000. Okay, I couldn't remember the number, but you get the point.
Still, yeah, this is Lakeshore. It's Lake Michigan.
It is $3,000. Yeah. Do you see how steep it is?
Yeah. No thanks.
Not interested in that either.
Nope.
Doesn't feel like a heights thing though. You're just walking down the hill. But one trip, one misstep.
It's a heights thing because you're still, when you look off in the distance, you're still, nope.
Good. I'm sorry to distract us, but yes, that's what's going on. Is the Congo game at half?
England had another clear-cut chance in the goal. The Congo goalkeepers having an all-timer. England have 5 big chances created and have missed all 5 of them. They should legitimately be winning. I don't know how. This goalie for the Congo is killing it.
That can happen.
He's having a day. Like if you they have the match rating for all the players.
Mm-hmm.
He's at a 10 right now. Would have to be.
So you think you'd have a better chance stopping a goal in the World Cup than climbing to the top of the Empire State Building?
Yes.
Maybe just get lucky.
Absolutely.
Maybe just get lucky and accidentally.
I mean, you guys
guess right or they kick wrong.
You should know by now that this stuff, just like even looking at it, just drives me crazy. I can't do the height stuff. So nope, absolutely not.
Okay, well that's all. Just sorry to distract us from Empire. We were trying to talk Chiefs off season, all this other stuff.
I mean, now I'm locked into this though. Like now I'm invested in this now. I want to know how they get down.
They're just hanging out up there. Oh, it looks like someone's climbing down now, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Man.
I mean, they can't be the first person to climb up to the top of this.
It's all part of the Taylor Swift wedding, is what this is. They're in New York City. It's all connected, I'm sure.
It looks like they're wearing like a leather cat mask. What the hell's going on? Like, are you dressed like Catwoman?
I mean, clearly, if you're doing this stunt, there's maybe some issues going on there for you as a person. So if you're climbing
without
to the top
permission, like at least that one guy who's also insane
Building.
Climbing to the top of stuff. At least he like gets permission before he climbs to the top. You know?
All right. Up next, let's get to what's trending. We'll talk a bit more about a trend in the NFL that might continue, and it is a significant day in sports. We'll tell you what that is next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Cole Reagans, and you're listening to Cody and Gold. Weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
Hey, it's Blaine with Smithville Ford. Want to hear my secret? Employee price is going on right now for everyone. But what's the difference in price? Great question. 2026 Ford Escape starting at $26,944. 2026 Expeditions? This will knock your socks off. Up to $9,000 off MSRP. And you get a lifetime powertrain warranty for free. Folks, go to SmithvilleFord.com right now because this ends July 6th.
What's got everyone talking?
That would be Talk of the Town Neighborhood Bar and Grill on 135th and Null and 119th and Quivira.
What's got everyone talking?
Everyone's talking about our daily specials, the best burgers and wings in town, great selection of beer and spirits. Oh, it's the dozens of TVs showing your favorite game.
That's what's got everyone talking.
This is Giannis, and now we're talking at Talk of the Town Neighborhood Bar and Grill.
Joint pain's awful when you're the person fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only one affected by it. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain, and you see it. You see what they don't say. You see what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July, and the days are long, and the light hangs around, and you want to be outside moving, playing, and living. But instead, you're sitting it out. Let's get your life back at QC Kinetics. That's what they do every single day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and backs are finally stepping out of it with QC Kinetics. They offer regenerative treatments done right in the office. No surgery, no long recovery, and no putting your life on hold. Just real relief. So it's time for you to go see my friends over at QC Kinetics and get that free consultation. Call them at 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Located off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, 816-412-6299.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all your favorite shows, shorts, and clips. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, World Cup action continues today. Well, tonight we hope to see you guys out at the Peanut. U.S. men's national team taking on Bosnia. We'll be at the State Line location. So hope to see you guys there.
Right.
Right now, we're keeping an eye on what could be a big upset. It's very early, though, but could be a big upset in the World Cup. It is halftime, and the DR Congo is up 1-0 on England. Later on today, a match that is relevant for the U.S., assuming the U.S. handles their business, is what happens with Senegal and Belgium. The U.S. will play the winner. Belgium, 3 o'clock against Senegal. And then, of course, the U.S. at 7 this evening.
Next up on What's Trending, the Royals did drop game 1 of their series to the Rays last night, 10-4. Noah Cameron got tuned up pretty bad. His splits are still really interesting, as in when Salvador Perez catches for him, he's a pretty good pitcher. When somebody who's not named Salvador Perez catches for him, not so much. There's also a lot going on with the baseball right now, is being reported by The Athletic and others around there. They'll get game 2 tonight of that series. There also seems to be some news rumblings that Chris Bubich, maybe they didn't use the word setback, but will be heading back to Kansas City to be evaluated and not make his next rehab start. So things just continue to go worse for the Royals. Seth Lugo will be on the mound tonight, by the way, versus McClanahan for the Rays.
Wimbledon underway yesterday in doubles. Serena Williams, in singles, Serena Williams was eliminated and from the tournament. Now, the doubles match with her sister Venus is in a bit of doubt because of a knee injury during her singles loss. So we'll see what ultimately happened. She tweaked her right knee at the end of the first set, was therefore excused from her media obligations, said her agent. She left the site that night unaided, is doing everything she can to be ready for her doubles match later this week. So she's got a swollen knee, I guess.
Yep. Next up on What's Trending, Royals prospect Kendry Churio and Blake Mitchell will represent the Royals for the MLB All-Star Futures game. That'll take place in Philadelphia on July 12th. We obviously know Blake Mitchell's been one of the top prospects for the Royals for a number of years, but problem is he is striking out. Batting average right now is certainly not there. Kendry Churio has been awesome, even really good. His last outing since being promoted to High A was 6 innings of 1-run baseball with 5 strikeouts. So things have been going pretty well for him. Blake Mitchell right now does have a .409 on-base percentage after a .434 on-base percentage last year, but hitting just .210 this season with 105 strikeouts in High A in just 219 at-bats. That means he's striking out nearly 50% of the time. Still a lot of homers, 13 home runs, 40 RBIs. Just got to get the strikeouts in control is the thing for Blake Mitchell. But those two guys will represent the Royals for the Futures game.
Sticking with baseball, it's July 1. That means it is Happy Bobby Bonilla Day again. We know this continues all the way through 2035. It started back in July of 2011. 63 years old now. He receives a check for $1.19 million from the Mets. Remember, this is the unique story. The Mets now at least embrace it with the new ownership. They have fun with it. But back in 2000, for those who don't remember, the Mets agreed to buy out the remaining $5.9 million on his contract. Instead of paying him the $5.9 million at the time, the Mets agreed to make annual payments of nearly $1.2 million for 25 years, including a negotiated 8% interest. If you were wondering, I guess on the math or whatever, someone would basically that he would have been better off still if he would have put all that money aside. If they would have just given him the 5.9 and he just would have put that aside, he could have, that would be worth $25 million or something now instead. But it ends up being spread out for him, and he gets a nice payday every July.
Eventually, we're going to get this. Our generation will know this as Shohei Ohtani Day, as he eventually will receive insane amounts of deferred payments. We can talk more about it coming up here in just a little bit. But yeah, no, I really do. Bobby Bonilla is a fun little nonsense that we can all kind of enjoy and not have to worry too much about. I was looking at some of the NFL offseason storylines and came to realize that I think that there's we're either going to get to the next stage of evolution of fourth down attempts in the NFL, or we have capped. I think it is only one or the other goal. There'll always be exceptions to the rule of people who bend it a little bit, but we are either at the official breaking point of the maximum amount most teams will go for it on fourth down, or we're getting ready to see a huge attempt at a massive swing in the aggressiveness to go with it. Ben Baldwin, he goes by Computer Cowboy over on social media. He does a lot of analytical-based stuff. So take it what it is. I'm going to make these numbers simple. He had pointed out, and correctly, the statistics support that almost every single team in the NFL, Gold, goes for it now in the obviously go for it situations. There are very few circumstances in which teams don't go for it in those spots. A huge majority of you always do, or almost always do. So we don't need to waste a bunch of times in the when they didn't used to go for it. If it's a go, in the numbers department, they do it. The difference is when it is a 50-50 decision, a huge chunk of the league is still not aggressive. They've all capped, and they've all capped together. There's one or two that are even less aggressive, like the Chargers or the Titans. But pretty much everyone else is in a range in which you would consider, they're going for it like 60% of the time or no more. So I think we're at a crossroads. Either the NFL teams need to decide, let's be way more aggressive in 50-50 situations, and those are always a go for us unless the circumstance in the game doesn't call for it, in which case it'd probably be below 50%, or everyone's just decided that this is the amount of risk they're willing to take on and they're going to call it. I want the Chiefs to try the more aggressive approach first and see if it's worth the risk. They're the kind of team, in my opinion, with the quarterback they have, that should be the leader in the clubhouse of taking the next step because nobody else has. One team last year took a real risk in it, and it was the Raiders, and it's largely because they stunk. Why not go for it, Gold? Pete Carroll with nothing to lose on a losing team. Every other team has stabled in. Why not the Chiefs be the leader in the clubhouse and just say, you know what? We're going to be slightly more aggressive than the rest of you. We're going to go 70% of the time it's 50-50. Or 75% of the time it's 50-50. We're going to take it to a level that most teams in the NFL won't.
I would be shocked if they're the team that sets the standard on that, though. I just would. I know Andy's
more
been
like
asked.
Maybe the Rams or something.
Yeah, I mean, Andy's been asked even last year, how they go about it, and they do have analytic staff members that handle this, that focus in. Ultimately, though, it's Andy Reid's call, right? This is the. It's funny. We talk on the baseball side with Matt Quatrero, where they're like way too much on the data. In football and baseball are different in game decisions. I understand, but the point being, the Royals are way more just about the data. The Chiefs have data. Andy has data. He claims he has meetings during the week to go over scenarios, and I'm sure they do.
I'm sure,
but in game, I think he goes by gut quite a bit, and that at times can make you look like a genius. At other times, it can make you look really, really bad. And so I don't think the Chiefs are going to be ahead of the curve if that's what you're asking. But it is fascinating that, as you said, the definitely go for it spot is now up to 88% in the league. And that should be it. There should be some no-brainer ones now. But like the toss-up ones, which were 14% of the time, I don't think the Chiefs are going to be way out in front of the toss-up ones.
Why not? But like in the toss-up, 14% is still too low.
Unfortunately, the last 2 years from a field goal percentage standpoint has gone, you're a liability there when would you rather kick a 57-yard field goal or go for a 4th and 3?
And if your kicker, 4th and 3?
If your kicker is not going to be one of the top 5 kickers in field goal percentage, which, by the way, he hasn't been for 2 years. That's just the facts. Nobody's saying he hasn't been clutch in his career, but the reality is in the regular season the last 2 years, he has been towards 19th to 21st in field goal percentage. That's just the reality. And that's not just because he takes a bunch of long kicks. We looked up the numbers earlier.
Takes less than some others.
Because of that, you would like to think that if they can, I don't know if they consider that a toss-up. What's their definition of toss-up?
When the percentage says more than 50% go is a toss-up.
Okay.
If the numbers say, hey, 51, 49% go for
it, Fair enough. Literally a coin flip. Yep. Okay, got it.
Like when it's 80%, 75%, teams go. Like a huge percentage of the time. Not 100%, but more times than they shouldn't by a pretty wide margin. Andy is still relatively concerned. Can I ask him to get to the normal level? Or I guess, do you think that this is just capped? Because we've had multiple years of all these numbers and teams have a chance to take the hyper-aggressive route. And I can't remember one since probably Brandon Staley, who actually employed it as like a full-time model, and he got fired.
He did it, and then he got in his own head because people were like, "What is this guy doing?"
Yep.
And then he couldn't figure it out. He was on the right track initially, and then it got out of whack. And I think that the pressure got to him, and then he started overcompensating for it, and it messed him up. Yeah, now I mean, Dan Campbell's, of course, the example of that. Dan Campbell just goes for, it feels like every damn fourth down.
He goes for more than anybody.
Fourth downs on his own 40, on his own 35-yard line, his own 30, we saw last year.
And those are the 50-50 ones that we're talking about. The question is, like, I guess the thing, and you're probably right. I probably shouldn't, it's wishful thinking probably to think Andy's going to, like, jump up to the leaderboard. I would probably just say, hey, be league average and be okay with it for the Andy end. But there is a part of me that's, I don't understand sometimes why the teams who have the better circumstances aren't the most aggressive. Like if I have Patrick 100% Mahomes,
agree with you.
If I have Patrick Mahomes, I should be the team that goes for it the most. I have Patrick Mahomes. I am whatever that 50% model says, that's amongst every team in the NFL with any old quarterback. That's Jacoby Brissett going for that thing.
Right.
That's lowering it to 50. So with my guy, what is it?
Yeah, that's the next.
It's got to be better.
It should be, but I don't think we'll see a drastic shift until the next guy, right, is in charge down the road, whenever that is, whether it's a year from now, whether it's 5 years from now.
Do you think that we've hit genuinely? Do you think
in
that
the
there's
league
more?
Oh, in the league we haven't.
Coming? Yeah.
The league
I
we
think there's still
haven't.
more growth with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think in the league we've hit a cap on that at all. No. Because there's still going to be some guys that do increase a little bit, and that'll drag it up a little bit. As long as Dan Campbell's also coaching, there's, as someone pointed out on the text line, it's got potential to get even more drastic.
Well, it is it's so funny because it's crazy in the sense that if part of your job as an NFL head coach is this public perception of, are you an idiot or are you just making bad decisions? And unfortunately for these 50-50 things, it is 100% everyone's on board with you when you get it right. They love you for going for it when you get it right. And boy, do they think you're an absolute idiot when you miss. But there was that one game. Don't you remember? Oh man, was it 2 years ago? Do you guys remember the game when Dan Campbell went for it 6 times and he just kept missing every single one? And I mean, it was he made the same decision 5 times in a row, and they came up short 5 times in a row. It was crazy. Those kinds of situations will happen in a game occasionally. I will say I'll always want my coach to coach different in a playoff game. I think those decisions do need to be made more in the moment, based on gameplay, based on game style, based on your team in the playoffs, different than in a regular season. Regular season, I treat it more like baseball. Regular season is we go with the math. We're playing 18 games. We're trying to win as many as we can. We go with the math. The math tells us where to go. We go. When the playoffs hit, we can.
It can backfire on you too, though.
We can make our decisions.
In general, I agree with that. It can backfire on you. I mean, that's the Dan Campbell part of it as well.
It totally backfired.
I
can't remember the exact game, but you know what I'm talking about. He went for 5 times in a row and just kept.
And I know that this is not an anti-analytic thing, but whatever this happened, because there'll be a Monday Night Football game this year where Dan Campbell goes for it, and people. This is where I think people get annoyed with the analytic crowd with this, is because there'll be some circumstances where you're like, you got to be kidding me, and then everybody tries to explain to you that you're just too dumb to understand.
You don't know numbers and how numbers work,
and that's why people all of a sudden get all angry about it too. Because you get some of the people that are like, you're just too stupid to realize the numbers, whatever, and then that just pisses everybody off.
That's the thing that's hurt baseball in some categories, because they're like, oh no, the numbers support this. I'm like, what numbers? The first thing I was taught in any statistics class I ever took, college, high school, whatever, is I can make the numbers say whatever the hell I want them to say to support my argument, because you can. I can find a reason to hit Jack Caglione first or 7th or 3rd. I can find some numbers, and they were doing this early in the season, as you remember, where they were taking some his reverse splits against whoever in the year 1997. You're like, no, stop it. He's hitting. Just let him hit.
I don't even think you have to go off of numbers. You have Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you have to have numbers. You have Josh Allen.
I agree.
I don't think you have numbers. You have Joe Burrow. Because the whole analytics thing to me at some point, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA right now about it, and a lot of argument.
Yeah, the plus minuses.
The analytics stuff is
taking over.
Part of me is very, very stupid, and I think Jaylen Brown is right for a majority part of it, as well as a lot of other athletes are about it. But you don't even have to look at the numbers. Who do you have as your quarterback? And also, that's the other thing. If I'm going to go for it, I don't want to run the football. I know Kareem Hunt has been successful. If it's 4th and 3, I'm throwing the football because I have Patrick Mahomes.
I agree. On 4th and 3, I agree with you.
If it's 4th and 1, I also think you're going to trust that quarterback to make the right decision in that moment. Now, maybe if Ken Walker, it's a little bit different, but you want the ball in the best player's hands way more often, and I think that's why you need to be more aggressive. It's 4th and 7 on the 35-yard line. Go for it. Don't kick a 50-yard
field. The 4th and 1 part also gets us back to the whole QB sneak stuff, which we've gone over that. And as long as
they're going to do it. So
as long as Andy Reid's the coach, they won't do it. That would help with their percentages in confidence and going for it too.
And if you're going to run shotgun, throw the football.
There's 5 to 7 quarterbacks that I would be the most aggressive coach in the league because of it.
Yes.
Lamar Jackson,
I would go for it.
Especially if they've got the double ability of running, like Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson, or
go for it.
Mahomes' ability to run. Be like, no, I'm way more interested. I can get it
totally
7 different ways. That goes back to the other thing where, on 4th and 3, I'm pretty rarely going to run. They ought to be handing it off to Kenneth Walker or low.
Yeah, throw it.
On 4th and 3, I'm going to give Mahomes the option to do either. You can either run or you can pass or you can do whatever. Just do your thing, my guy.
Sure. 4th and 1, I don't hate that.
4th and 1, I don't.
I'm fine with running sometimes.
I think there also is fans are going to be more willing to accept that you don't get it because you're being aggressive and because it makes sense. If you were to say, if Andy went for it and they lost the game because of it, and is like, look, he's the best quarterback in the league and I trust him in any moment, I think that's a valuable explanation. It makes sense. I understand it might be the wrong decision, but I would rather live and die with my quarterback making a throw than live and die with punting it and hoping my defense can hang on against
we're on the same page.
Great quarterback.
Yeah,
10 times out of 10.
We're on the same page. Like always, there's some balance there because, again, Dan Campbell, there are times where I think he goes a little bit overboard. In general, it worked. In general, I think it's his strategy is awesome.
You'd be more aggressive than Andy, but you wouldn't be the most aggressive. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a line inside there. I will say, man, the Congo goalie is putting on an absolute
on a heater, dude.
show. He's the single-handedly the only reason why they're leading in this match.
Yeah, it's 1-0. England's down, 54th minute. Still a ton of time, but this once again pre-match, England was a minus 1,200 favorite. What do you think the live betting is now? England's still a favorite, I bet. But what do you think it is?
England is minus 150.
Minus 210 still.
Okay.
DR Congo's down to plus 170.
Okay. Part of me just thinks
that includes extra time and penalties. By the way.
I was like, I don't think I could make a guess at that end, but pretty close.
Look at this.
He's making some incredible. That one was deflected
too. He's unconscious right now.
He is making some incredible saves. We'll talk more about the U.S. coming up in just a few minutes. You mentioned during What's Trending, it's Bobby Bonilla Day.
Always a fun.
Is it one of those
deal.
simple things that what's to hate? It just feels like one of those simple things you bring up on something like a sports talk show or around the water cooler or in a text with your friends. And I only recently learned his wife gets half as part of the divorce.
They're divorced. Okay.
She gets half.
Well, good for her too, I guess.
So it's not just Bobby Bonilla Day; it's Bobby Bonilla's ex-wife who also gets half a check.
That was part of the settlement, I guess. No, it's just fun. And Cohen, the owner of the Mets, now they've at least embraced it. It wasn't his decision to make at the time, so they've embraced it. The money. They kind of celebrated at Citi Field there in New York City. So I think it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's one of those weird. People always put out articles about the math on it, like was it better to defer it or not to defer it? And if he would have just got the initial $5.9 million and then just put it away, it'd be worth more than what.
It'd be worth more than he's been paid slowly. But he also could have invested that $1.2 million every year that entire time.
Yeah, he might be. I don't know.
And gotten that money too. It's pretending like he just spent it all. He got a $1.2 million check. Would you go out? What would your? This isn't the random.
If you knew that once a year on July 1st, I was getting a $1.1 million.
What's the standard Alex Gold day if every year you knew you're getting a $1.2 million check?
Yeah, I think I'm just going out and having a really nice dinner the first night. And after that, you're just part of your financial planning. You just know you're getting that whatever your investment
nice dinner
plan.
Every year?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like on the day that the check comes
absolutely
straight to whatever. And maybe the same place, like the same steakhouse.
Sure.
Every year they're like, oh, Bobby's back. It must be the time you just got that $1.2 million check.
I just have a reservation set up every year on July 1st at that same steakhouse.
I think what's crazy is
well, you said he's not married. Is he remarried? Do we know?
Ooh, that I don't know.
If not, I just go out of town somewhere. I just go on vacation somewhere that same time frame. Just go on a beach somewhere. And refresh the bank account up. Refresh the bank account app at 4 a.m. to see that wire transfer, that transfer come in for $1.1 million or whatever.
Yeah, they divorced in 2009, so he could be back together with somebody else. Don't want to say, but she fought for half of that cash.
Smart.
So Bobby Bonilla Day benefits all. At least in that. When's the last year he played? This is the thing that always fascinates me about it. The last year he played in Major League Baseball.
2004 or something or what?
2001. I was a sophomore in high school the last time he played a baseball game.
10 years old.
And he keeps getting $1.2 million for it. Is crazy. Does anybody remember the deferments on Shohei? This is also where they got to get rid of these deferments. They got to get rid of them. Whatever the deferred money is, because it's stupid.
Deferred money's 2034 starts $68 million a year from 2034 to 2043.
This is going to put Bobby Bonilla Day to shame.
$68 million.
Like in 2040, he'll be retired and just be cashing a $68 million check. It won't last nearly as long.
He'll be
his deferment.
He'll be 45 years old in 2040.
But getting $68 million from the Dodgers? Mm-hmm. They did this before it eventually gets capped. Baseball's got to do something about it. The idea that Shohei Ohtani could be retired and receiving the entire half of the Royals payroll this year for a decade after he's done playing for the Dodgers is so stupid. Also, they can avoid the luxury tax and all this other stuff, and so that they're barely over it or some other version. It's such nonsense.
Someone says you're only going to a steakhouse. Well, it's not. He's not winning. He's not winning the lot. It's part of his probably financial plan for his life now. He's just whatever he does for a living. He's not working. Probably it's just like it's. You're not. What else are you going to do that one day. He's not going to go buy a new house every year with it. I mean, he's got his plan set now. He
buy a new Ferrari? It
probably goes into investments automatically. Is my
I think
guess.
you make the argument for I go on a vacation. That's fine.
Sure, but he's not buying a new car.
Further than that.
Every year, he's just buying a new car with the money.
No,
probably not. He probably has the car.
Maybe the knock was the food. Maybe they think he should have been choosing a different cuisine.
Okay. I always
but
pick steakhouse.
Alex's favorite big ticket meal is a steakhouse.
Yeah, give me a filet or Wagyu steak. We're going to Vegas in the end of August. I can't wait to go to the steakhouse there in Circa. Hell yeah.
We'll be back. We'll be back at
cocktail
Barry's.
cart. Oh yeah.
Waiting for him to come by, hang out. I don't.
Last time we went there, you didn't order a steak though, which I couldn't believe.
That's because I had steak the night before. Well, we went 2 days before and I had a steak. I wanted to try other things on the menu.
No steak at the steakhouse is going to always
I've
be
had
like,
steak
what?
at that steakhouse many times.
Yeah, I get it. You got.
I like to vary the menu. Why put it on there if I can't order? It's you made that argument for the spaghetti and
that's
meatballs.
because you thought it was crazy. I got spaghetti and meatballs at an Italian restaurant. I don't know why that's crazy.
It just seemed like there were so many choices.
Well, there's so many choices at a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
I would definitely put the annual country club fee around that time that I would get paid.
Right.
I would put the trip around that time as well, just so it just comes out immediately. You can build around.
I imagine his net worth's okay that he doesn't need that check every year.
I don't know. Depends how well he's done with his money, right? Well, he's done with his money and his investments.
More players would be better to get their money this way.
Oh, the ones that have gone broke, yeah. If they just instead of getting the lump sum $25 million, it was like a annuity payment instead or whatever. Yeah. Although, if you win the lottery, don't ever do the annuity payment. Just get the lump sum.
Then you might have to call J.G. Whitworth.
Get don't do the annuity payment if you win the lottery. That's a terrible idea.
Just take a big chunk of cash.
Yep, and invest it.
You and I were just talking about someone in Vegas won on their way out the door.
Yeah. At the McCarran Airport in Vegas, layover, sitting there in the terminal. You guys have been there. There's a bunch of slot machines sitting in the terminal. Somebody was sitting there on a Wheel of Fortune slot, won $3.3 million. You cancel the flight, right? You say, actually, we're staying another day.
I mean, it just depends. Do I need to get back or not?
I mean, I'll just tell you this, Cody. If we're supposed to fly back on a Saturday from a work trip in Vegas, and one of us wins $3 million, wins, let's call it $100,000 even at the slot machine, I'm probably saying, actually, you know what, Cody, you can get on the flight if you want, but I'm going to stay one more day. That's probably what
dinner's on me.
Yeah.
Cody. If I win $100,000 at the slot at the airport, dinner's definitely on me.
You saying J.G. Whitworth reminded me of the...
Oh, God.
That didn't work out.
Whoops.
One of those guys was good for runs. Bob.
Whoops.
And Vinny, for the 2 weeks before he got hurt.
Yeah, it actually did help Vinny briefly.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. This season's been bad.
Would you say you would, by the way, go back, you wouldn't... I
don't think for $100,000 I'd miss my flight if I didn't have to.
Okay.
But anything over $250, I'll take a day.
All right.
I'm going to be there.
So if I told you that you were waiting for them to bring you the paperwork for the $100,000 lottery or the slot machine winning at the airport, and they were boarding your flight, you're telling me you're obviously missing the flight.
If I have to miss the flight, obviously I will. But if there's a way to make the flight but make it tight, like I got to go sit in the middle seat now instead, but just knowing that plane ride would be insane. Your head would be swimming.
Yeah.
But also, if I won $3 million and I had no trouble, I could still make the flight. I didn't have to change anything. I didn't fly for 2 hours. I won the $3 million. I'd probably just tell them, let me hold 10.
I'd be nervous to even fly. There'd be part of me okay, can we land safely? I'd be just nervous.
Can we land safely?
I would just be nervous about the whole flight flying back.
Imagine somehow you didn't get cell service and you're worried about the plane and you're like, you haven't even told your wife that $3 million is going to show up in the bank account tomorrow. You're like,
yeah, would you surprise Emma? Would you just not say anything?
I'd have to call immediately.
You'd want to
not say anything.
You wouldn't wait till you land?
I'd be I would do a
You'd be shaking.
FaceTime on the plane.
Yeah, your
face. People hey man, you can't talk to people on the plane. Bull. I'll be buying the internet.
On the plane. You want people to hear that you just won $3 million.
Oh yeah.
You don't
text.
Fine. You don't want to be talking on the plane. People around you.
I have to make a call though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anybody else. But if you saw me do it, then what do I got to do? I'd be shut up. I can't tell anybody.
I would think, I don't know exactly how it would go, but I would call my wife and let her know, and then I would just enjoy the flight. You just.
I don't think I'd be enjoying it.
I'd pop the headphones in. I would still do the same thing I always do.
Cody, that'd be the longest flight of your life. Yeah. It'd be the long, because you're just can I just get me back home?
It does
please?
feel like an in-person thing. In a weird way, Drew, calling is just
yeah,
but I can't risk the not calling in case something crazy happens. All of a sudden she's like, What the hell's a $3 million in our account?
The money's not getting transferred in 5 minutes to your account. It's got to go paperwork.
But what happens if you fill in all the paperwork
Yep.
and the money's going to transfer? They're like, okay, you're good to go. You get on the plane. Something terrible happens on the plane. And then what? I'm dead and also there's $3 million.
You have nothing to worry about. You're dead already. You have nothing to worry about.
But isn't she confused why I just have $3 million? I got to tell her.
She'll figure it out.
That's why you tell her. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm in your court with this.
See, I would want to tell her in person. To me, that the reaction in person would be epic.
I mean, yeah, it would be awesome, but at the same time, in case if something happens, I would want to be the person to tell them.
Can I trust you with the secret? You watched me one, and I'm like, you cannot tell a single person.
Yeah,
there's not a soul you can tell.
I think we would. I think we would
$3
send out a tweet, but you will not believe what just happened in the airport. We'll tell you Monday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then
But you
Cody
gotta let me get through the
but then
round.
Cody wouldn't be able to tell you how much he won though.
Someone says I'd be flying home in a private jet.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend my money that quick.
That's a lot of
taxes
money.
and all that. I'm not dropping $30,000.
What's that going to cost you? Yeah, 10 grand, 20 grand at least just to get on one of the charter versions of that? No. Congrats to that person though. Just chilling at the airport.
That's crazy.
What is it? That's just to draw. They just draw another name. Alex has another chance at winning. That's not how the slot machine works. But I hear you.
No.
I hear you. All right, guys. Up next, we'll get to the random question of the day. And Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, is going to join us. We'll ask him about the futures game a little bit and also what to expect in the next couple weeks with how the Royals will approach it.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Have you been diagnosed with head or neck cancer? At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care with state-of-the-art proton therapy right here in KC. Proton therapy means increased precision, reducing side effects like dry mouth, difficulty swallowing, and the loss of taste as compared to conventional radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Have you ever seen a drive-thru as less of a lunch option and more as a challenge? We can help. Just take it to Telly. Schedule your service at tellytire.com.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Our American dream is ice cream. Red, White, and Bluebell is our strawberry ice cream loaded with strawberries, alongside creamy vanilla and blueberry ice cream with real blueberries. A full half-gallon of red, white, and blue ice cream. Feel free to celebrate.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at all Kansas City metro area Hy-Vee locations and all Walgreens.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-358-6868. That's 800-358-6868. Again, 800-358-6868.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi? For what?
Better not to know.
Get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in your price for 5 years and see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line tonight with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
All right, back here on Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. We're keeping an eye on the first match of the day, round of 32. England in DR Congo. England down 1-0, 72nd minute would be a huge upset for the first time in the match in the live betting markets, by the way. The Congo are actually the favorites to win this. They were huge dogs. England was minus 1,200 to win, so we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get to the random question of the day here in about 10 minutes or so, but let's go out and welcome in Josh Vernier, our Royals insider. Of course, prior to tonight's game, you'll hear his On Deck show right here on 96.5 The Fan. We were also discussing, Vern, the proposal that I guess happened on the top of the Empire State Building. These two idiots climbed the top of the Empire State Building. Where did you propose? And did it ever come across your mind to think, you know what, Empire State Building?
No, but the place that I proposed is... I mean, Cody knows it. It's the Peoria Sports Complex in Arizona.
Really? Are you serious?
The dumpy Peoria Sports Complex where
it's
the
one of the
Mariners and
worst.
Padres play. It is.
I did not know this.
The only place worse is Surprise. Now, I mean, it's a long, story that, I don't know if anyone really cares, but that's the spot. There's a reason why it wasn't a spur of the moment thing.
Okay.
But, certainly nothing that we took a picture of, right? It's not a place that we go back to or anything.
You don't once a year go back to visit the Peoria Sports Complex?
Well, I do. Sadly, yes, I do, but not for that reason.
Vernon, if it makes you feel any better, the place I got engaged isn't even open anymore. So, we couldn't even go back and visit it if we wanted to. As far as I know, it's empty.
Now, did it get shut down For any specific reason, like were there rats in the kitchen?
No. Independent movie theater, the Tivoli, the one that used to be in Westport.
Oh, sure, yeah, all the movie theater.
Yeah. That's the one. That's where we got engaged.
Now, were you in the middle of a movie and you proposed?
I had a trailer made specifically for it.
That's right.
Wow.
How about that, Vern?
So, like, I had a whole movie trailer produced. As for like we both worked there together a little bit when we were both in college and all that. So, like,
brilliant.
It makes
Every
sense.
time I drive past a movie theater, I'm like, man, I should really go. And then I just keep driving.
You might have time for a movie come October, based on the way this season continues.
How about that transition?
Right
How
now,
about
Cody.
that?
But
Man.
the trade deadline is going to be an interesting one for the Royals because we've agreed, even as a month ago, Vern, that they're stuck between two worlds, which is we want them to still matter next year, but they can't do it. I feel like my line in the sand is Waka. You're either anyone better than Waka, I don't really want to trade. Anyone worse than Waka, I'm clearly more than willing to trade. Where do you land on? Is he kind of the line in the sand of he's the only one I think you could trade, Vern, and you could still technically be in both camps, competitive for next year, but serious about getting a real asset back in the trade department?
Yeah, I won't argue with you on that. To me, the real question is do you think they can compete in 2000? We all want them to compete, and when you have Cags and Carter and Bobby and Michael, and I know people are out on Vinny, but I still believe Vinny's a good hitter. When you have that when you have those 5 homegrown talents, boy, you hate to think at this point of a season that we're already out of it next year. But, man, to rebuild that rotation for 2027, to do it without Michael Wacha to me is impossible. So you trade Michael Wacha, and next year it's not well, in my opinion, it's not happening. I guess anything could happen, but I certainly wouldn't go into next season with any sort of playoff expectations without Wacha. But with Wacha and with the pitching staff as it currently stands, with Wacha as your best starting pitcher right now for 2027, and then we just pray on Luinder Avila. Boy, you need 2 starters. I mean, right?
Yeah.
You need 2 starters that are better than Michael Wacha. Now, I guess, with the news of Chris Bubich having another setback,
right?
Maybe he's willing to sign a 1-year prove-it deal, and he returns to that all-star form, and he's better than Michael Wacha. I mean, that's pretty pie in the sky right there. The only way to find 2 starting pitchers better than Michael Wacha by opening day of 2027 is to find a diamond in the rough like you did at the trade deadline a few years ago with Cole Reagans, but that too that's a big ask. More than likely it's going to take finding the steal in free agency like you did a few years ago with Wacha and Lugo. Either you do that again, you find the next Wacha and Lugo, which, by the way, when it's all said and done, those 2 will be the most valuable free agent signings in Royals franchise history. So, yeah, good luck. Go finding those 2 again. Or, trading from a position of depth. If you believe, Vinny can come back and perform well. Maybe you move him for him and a prospect for a starter this offseason. Maybe it's one of these catching prospects in a prospect package, like you did to go get James Shields more than a decade ago. The question to me is, can they build a pitching staff? And, I'm talking about rotation, but we also need to address the bullpen. Can they build a pitching staff that can compete in 2027? It's an uphill climb for sure.
I heard you were talking yesterday in pregame just about the next couple of weeks. How do you think they proceed just in terms of knowing that the noise around trades will increase? The All-Star break's just 2 weeks away.
Well, listening to JJ yesterday, he says he's given this team until the All-Star break because the American League allows it, and okay, that's fine. I don't think much is really going to pop off over the course of the next 2 weeks,
right?
Leading up to the All-Star break, and it's not as if he's unplugging his phone. If someone wants to call about Lane Thomas or John Schreiber or Daniel Lynch, he can pick up the phone. He'll have those conversations. But no, I wouldn't expect them or really any team to get all that aggressive over the next 2 weeks because the worst team in the American League their general manager is saying, hey, mathematically we're not out of it yet. So that means every team in the American League, all of their leaders, even the guy that just got canned in Anaheim, everybody can say that we're still in it. But after the All-Star break, we despite what the text line's saying, JJ isn't an idiot, right? The Royals aren't ran by idiots, so of course they'll be selling. The guys that are expiring contracts, of course they're out the door. But if you call for Alex Lang, you call for Daniel Lynch or Michael Massey, you call for Nick Lofton, you make the right offer, man, I'm pulling the trigger on any of it.
How much does the potential CBA stoppage next year, whether it's a spring training issue, whether it's in the next season, how much does that change how they as an organization might have to operate, whether we're talking this deadline, but how does that complicate everything you just said a few minutes ago about trying to fix this rotation and bullpen?
Right, because it's going more than likely, let's say best case scenario, they hammer out a new CBA. Even best case scenario, that's when? February?
Yeah.
Right, I mean, it's not going to happen at the end of December. That's just not how this has ever worked between these two sides. So best case scenario, it's middle of February. It's a somewhat truncated spring training, okay. But that means it's going to be just an absolute mad dash for these free agents. Maybe that benefits the Royals, right? I'm not sure. I mean, I could make a case in which it benefits the Royals, but at the same time, could make a case that the big money markets, that they'll gobble up all the big names. When you look at the Royals' trade assets next season, if I'm a team and I'm going for it in 2026, no, I'm not super excited to take on $14 million to next year's ball club when it comes to Michael Wacha. But with the uncertainty of next year, you know what? Maybe I'm not ultimately giving him all $14 million. Maybe it's a prorated if we play a truncated season. So really, to me, the whole Michael Wacha conversation and what that extra year, what Seth Lugo, he's also under contract for 2027, maybe even 2028. To me, all of that just comes back to how many of those expiring contracts, the names that are better than Michael Wacha, the Sandy Alcantara in Miami, the Sonny Gray in Boston, Kevin Gossman in Toronto, obviously Tarek Skubal with Detroit, Joe Ryan with Minnesota. All of those teams right now, like JJ said the other day, we all believe that we're still in it. So those 5 teams, if all 5 of those arms become available, I feel like that's going to be enough for every team looking for a top-of-the-line rotation piece. I think all of those teams will be able to acquire that at the deadline, which might allow the Royals to hang on to Michael Wacha because they don't get the offer they would demand. I would imagine it's going to be a pretty high ask if you're asking me to not only part with Wacha this season, but to basically pick up a white flag for next season.
I want to ask about the catching part of it in just a minute, but Carter Jensen from the hitting end, obviously they've gotten everything out of Carter Jensen they could have possibly asked for this season. As far as hitting catchers go, I mean, he's one of the better ones in baseball already. Is that a fair assumption?
Yeah. I mean, Dylan Dingler, Shea Langoliers in the American League have been outstanding. If they were on really good teams, they'd be MVP candidates. Drake Baldwin with the Atlanta Braves, he was the Rookie of the Year last year and came up and did everything well. Look, Carter's bat, 20-game hitting streak. What do you say about that? But his bat is the reason why he's here. The biggest strides he's made this season, though, are likely defensively. The arm, the pop time, the game calling, and it's all happened, over the course of the first 3 months. Noticeable change in his ability, even with the ABS behind the dish. He's becoming a guy that, personally, I was always prepared for him to get bumped out from behind the dish, eventually end up in a corner outfield because of that bat, because you want to protect that bat. But boy, if he's going to be this well-rounded of a backstop, again, it might make Blake Mitchell or a Ramon Ramirez expendable this offseason as you hunt for a starting pitcher.
Any thought to the splits right or bad for Noah Cameron when it's not Salvi who catches? Is there any part to that, or is this too small of a sample size, or people looking to excuse make for pitchers who aren't performing as well as last year?
Yeah, I would go with that final one because, Luinder Avila, it's, when he has Jensen behind the dish, he's outstanding. When he has Salvi behind the dish, it's been bumpy. Yeah. To me, the command for Noah Cameron was the issue yesterday. It's not Carter Jensen's fault that he was walking dudes yesterday. And in his start prior to that against the Tampa Bay Rays, he couldn't put anybody away. He hit the 9-hitter. That run came around to score. I'm not saying that Noah Cameron's been bad. I mean, Noah Cameron, and this is another issue with this team, they have quality depth. Sure, it's certainly being tested, but I'm not trying to, with all due respect, I'm not trying to give Noah Cameron the ball in a playoff game. Stephen Kolek the ball in a playoff game. Ryan Bergert not yet there with Luinder Avila. That's the issue. That's what we're talking about as we look towards 2027. You have good arms. I mean, these are guys that are going to help you get through 162. Noah Cameron, sure, has fallen short of expectations, but in no way is this season tied to the poor outings from Noah Cameron. No, they're going to need him to improve. They're going to need him next season if they're going to compete. But what they really need out of Noah Cameron is for him to slide back into the number 4 or 5 spot in this rotation. Because right now, this is a guy that's your number 2, number 3.
Yeah, right. The way they're having to do it at the moment. Yes, which is asking too much.
Josh Vernier, our Royals insider, always appreciate it. Glad we got the engagement story as well. And then Cody tried to one-up you with his trailer as well.
Did.
So
and he did. He succeeded.
He definitely.
And good for him. God love you, Cody.
There you go.
Problem.
That's Josh Vernier. He joins us each and every Wednesday here on Cody and Gold.
Get off the phone line.
I'm also the current leader in the pregame.
That's right.
Segment with Vern. I made another winning pick last night.
There you go.
Just
pick a bunch of runs.
Well, I picked both teams to have at least 2 runs by the 5th inning.
Well,
by the end of the 5th. The Rays one was not a problem.
Cam Manero, who is now in the home run derby last night, was awesome. He continues to be amazing.
Incredible.
But thanks to Vern for joining us. Don't forget baseball coverage here on 96.5 The Fan, presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi, one price, 5 years, guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that.
Random question.
For you, Gold. For you, Drew. Text line 913-586-7965. And, of course, over on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, where we live stream the show. You can like and subscribe on YouTube or Twitch. Pop to the top of your feed. Interact with the show over there as well. So, obviously, the match is 1-1, so we'll talk, it's 2-1.
Well, England just took the lead.
2 goals for Harry.
Wow.
I mean, insane.
Harry
from Harry
Kane, one of the world's best. 2-1, 2 goals for England. 86
Golden Boot
minutes.
winner in the last World Cup, is that right? Or 2 World Cups ago didn't he win the Golden Boot not that long ago, Harry Kane?
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought he might. I don't know he scored the most goals, but maybe not.
Not sure. Either way,
I know he's got
was
a pair
down.
of this game.
England gave up a goal in the first 7 minutes of the match, and they have scored 2 goals here in the last 10 minutes.
We'll keep an eye on that match as England is now up 2-1. But we're gonna get culture today for the random question today. We got
boy.
5 minutes.
Oh boy.
We're gonna test your art knowledge, I guess, as it comes today. Honestly, it's not that serious. Okay. We were just like the normal, like sitting around drinking conversations, and I want to know if your answer is a little more. Yeah, maybe. But the question is, if you could own a single piece of actual art for your house, which one would you hang up in it? Maybe you're just a Mona Lisa guy. I don't care. I just want to know any piece of famous artwork that's ever existed. You're going to put it up in your apartment, Gold. Which piece do you want? I think I would go Andy Warhol soup can. I really, really, really like those. I saw an exhibit full of them once. Mm-hmm. Very cool. I know it's and I like kind of that pop art style. So maybe that would be in my list. It would not be like the Mona Lisa or a Monet.
It would be weird.
It wouldn't be water lilies. It wouldn't be some of those. I'd want something more like more pop art or not modern art, but more in that vein. Probably is the truth.
I just can't imagine having a Mona Lisa painting just hanging in my apartment. You'd be like, what? Like, what are you doing?
Why do you live in an apartment?
I'll be honest, I'm not an art guy, so I don't.
You have to keep it. This is not like you get to have it and then sell it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google a little bit because I don't know if I can name more than like 5 or 6 different paintings.
But maybe that's what you want. Mona Lisa or the Scream.
I'm looking at see if I'm scrolling. Yeah, I'm scrolling through to see if there's any other ones that catch my.
Drew, is there one that jumps out to you while Alex looks?
The Connoisseur by Norman Rockwell.
Okay.
1962.
Connoisseur by Norman. You're going Norman Rockwell?
Yep.
That's classic Americana. Now I got to look up this exact one. I think I know the one you're talking about, but
I did this as a project when I was in art class, when I was in school, and I was like, this
And that was your answer then?
Splatter painting is awesome. I love splatter paint.
Okay.
I think it's really cool.
Like if it's
I thought Drew was going to suggest the red nude from 1917, but
Excuse
guess
me?
not. Yeah, the red nude. Mhm.
what's
I
that
don't know.
one?
I don't know what that one is.
If it's he says I don't know what that one is.
Yeah, Norman Rockwell.
Norman Rockwell, and that your answer hasn't changed. You still
No, I would say just
or a
in terms
Pollock
of,
or something. You just kind of like a big messy canvas.
Yeah, I think it's really cool just because you can get, I don't know, you can just get creative with it. But I think this one's good.
My second would be like a Liechtenstein. Have you ever seen those? Those are the ones that look like comic books. They're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars too, but they're just kind of cool.
I mean, would you get? Does art count as like the like the formed glass like structures like that sort of stuff? I don't know the exact name of the.
I'll take any art. It doesn't have to.
art.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to be a painting. Gold. I'll take any type of art you like.
Because I like
if
the
you
art
want the
museum in
Rodin
Indy.
statue in the middle, the bronze statue in the middle of your living room, fine, I guess. It feels like a painting would be easier. Someone said it's easy. It'd be Banksy, the girl with the red balloon. That's a famous one. Someone says, is there just a dogs with playing poker I can get? Starry Night being mentioned over on the text line by multiple people, by the way.
You know what? I have my
That's
answer.
a classic.
Blown glass. That's what it is. I would get some blown glass and have it, I don't know, hanging from the ceiling or something cool like that.
Only because I like the movie. I'll do the movie. Obviously, had the piece of art from the Thomas Crown Affair that was based off of. I'll do
Like the one from the movie?
the
or
guy
like
with the fake bowler hat wearing painting.
Okay.
The Son of a Man by I don't know the artist Magritte. I don't know.
That's Magritte.
Yeah, Magritte. I'll pick that one only because I know the movie that goes with that was featured in the movie as well. So and the Thomas Crown Affair.
Did
is a
you
great
like
movie.
the okay? I
Love
was like, did you like that movie?
Great movie. Great movie.
Interesting. So then at least you've got the with the apple in front of his face or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Magritte. Okay, fine. That's good to know. I wanted to know what your answer was.
Yeah.
Multiple people mentioning Thomas Hart Benton. Obviously, some of the local angle when you like some of that. Somebody said maybe some sports photography.
Well, then I'll have Lynn Dawson with a Fresca and a cigarette in the locker room.
I don't know what the best pieces of. There was like an art triptych that I wanted at like a store locally here forever that was just 3 pieces of painting of the Nikita polar bear from the zoo that I thought was cool.
Okay.
But I couldn't even afford that. And that was just from like a good local artist.
Someone says the painting of Carrington Harrison. Someone picked that up.
Somebody
I
already
believe.
owned that.
Yeah, I believe somebody picked that up the other day.
You could have owned that, you know?
You could have.
Not giving yourself a real chance. Lots of the famous artists. Nobody mentioned the Mona Lisa. I thought that was going to
That'd
just
be weird to have in your house.
Somebody said the Messi statue. What about the Ronaldo one where his face is all messed up? Do you guys remember that bronze?
Yeah, that would be.
His face all
Someone
busted
says
up?
a painting of Drew in the Hooters outfit. Okay.
Just like a fresh painting?
Uh-huh,
That sounds like a commission work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone says Kate Winslet's painting from the Titanic.
A couple people mentioning
that would be a weirdly specific one to have in your house. I think that would be kind of fun in fairness.
A few people mentioning the banana that was taped to the wall that sold for $1 million.
Hey, that's real. That thing's worth a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Do you realize the people who own like the intellectual property for that has made a ton of cash off of that?
Yeah, I bet.
It's a great study in art. Okay. A lot of other suggestions over on the
There's George
the text line.
Costanza and his undies.
Some of these it just makes me want to look up. Someone says one of the melting clocks from Dali would be on their list. I don't know about surrealism.
Are you going to the art
It's always a little too weird.
exhibition tonight? Is that what it is?
The Ghanaian movie poster?
Yeah.
No, it was last night. I missed it. I had a friend. Well, I couldn't end up
all
going.
that?
The schedule changed. And I couldn't end up going. I had a friend send me a bunch of pictures from it.
Okay.
And I don't know, like the Mrs. Doubtfire one with like a broomstick through it. But they had. What were some of the ones? Let me see. I should show you some of the ones that were outside of that, but that were fun. Because it was still a cool display outside of that. But no, I didn't get to go. It was last night. I wanted to go to the Ghanaian movie posters. Maybe that's what made me think about this. That's
question. What I thought. That's why I thought you chose art.
Oh no, I just thought it'd be interesting. Someone says they want the Steve Spagnuolo bus with the red eyes. Nobody ever made that for us. We tried to raise the money.
Cool. Never got made. Yeah.
Never got made.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. It could have been in the Chiefs facility right now. You don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Harry Kane, by the way, I know you mentioned him. He is in the lead for the Golden Boot right now.
Okay.
Cody.
I guess with Messi, Mbappe already played this round. Messi hasn't played yet this round. Okay.
Someone says they want the Rocky painting from the end of Rocky 3.
Some good suggestions or some good answers.
Leroy Neiman. Oh, that's a real painting. I didn't realize that was a like an actual painting you could get. So he wants the original from the Rocky movie. Okay. I
Someone said
apologize.
hyper realism. I don't know the
Some of those things
I wonder
are
what
insane.
I'm looking at some of them now, actually.
Hyper-realism paintings, they're
bonkers.
insane. I don't have any idea how anybody's even capable of drawing that way.
I'll just get the canvas print of I'll just get the canvas print of the one I'm talking about.
Oh,
The $110. Perfect.
Makes you seem cultured.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, just put that up in the stairwell as it's walking up the stairs. Yeah.
We like to be multi.
At least I have
multifaceted.
background on that one. I can say the only reason why I have it is because I like the movie that it's featured in. That's my only story. I don't know the actual meaning behind the whole painting, but I haven't been to. Drew? Have you been to Nelson? The Nelson Art Museum?
No.
Or gallery?
The only art museum is the one in Indy that I think is one of the biggest ones in the country.
I went to
something
Nelson
that.
like 2 years ago, maybe. I know, Cody, you and your wife used to
Oh
have
yeah,
a
we go.
membership
Yeah,
there.
we've had a membership over the years and go.
Someone said they want the Sistine Chapel in their main.
It's pretty rare if I. It's pretty rare if I don't. Just a chunk of it, or what's your plan there?
That would actually be pretty cool.
Yeah, so I go pretty regularly. But this is like Roy Lichtenstein. He does like pop art kind of stuff.
I could see you liking that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
All right, up next, guys, let's get back into golf and sports betting and some comments that had people talking yesterday from Jordan Spieth. We'll also piggyback on what Vern was just talking to us about when it comes to moving forward with Vinny and Cags, et cetera. That's coming up next as we keep an eye on this last round of 32, a couple minutes of this first round of 32 match between England and the Congo.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Well, baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat has arrived. Boy, has it ever. As we all know, we take a look at the forecast. I think it's just going to be hot and humid, and who knows how long it's going to last. But the guys over at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle the scorching hot summer weather. You want to stay cool and comfortable this summer? Well, call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. That's 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit climatecontrolkc.com today. Climate Control, heating, cooling, and plumbing.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Doug.
Hot dog, get your hot dog. Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game, because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry, At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Hence 8-1 exclusions apply.
Kansas City is buzzing this summer, and the excitement keeps rolling into August at the Advent Health Championship, Kansas City's only professional golf tournament, August 20th through 23rd at Blue Hills Country Club. Watch the next generation of PGA Tour stars compete for their shot at the big stage. Follow your favorite player, enjoy the action from greenside, or upgrade to an all-inclusive hospitality experience. With tickets starting at just $10, there's something for everyone. Keep your summer going. Get your tickets today at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton, and now that the tournament has started here in Kansas City, we're keeping you up to date on Beyond the Pitch KC. So subscribe and download today. The podcast is presented by Commerce Bank. Visit commercebank.com/soccer26. Available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Michael Waka from the Kansas City Royals, and you're listening to 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right, 1 o'clock hour, Cody and Gold, Alex Gold, Cody Tapp, Drew Nixon with you. Match just went final in the first one of the day. England, who trailed 1-0 early against the Congo, they come back. Harry Kane with 2 goals in the final, 20 minutes or so of the match, 25 minutes or so of the match. They win 2-1. They now will take on Mexico, which is going to be an epic match coming up on Sunday afternoon, guys. Is that right? Or is it yeah, maybe it's Sunday. I think it's Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it is Sunday afternoon.
That sounds right.
Of course, tonight, we're all waiting for the U.S. Hope to see you at the Peanut on State Line. We will all be there hanging out as the U.S. is playing a match against Bosnia.
That's right. And we'll be out there hanging out at the Peanut. We'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock, I believe, is the match starts.
Cody will be there as well.
And maybe a Bosnia jersey.
Don't you dare.
I won't
Don't
be
you
a Bosnia
dare.
jersey.
Well, you won't be allowed to sit at the table. Like if you're wearing a Bosnia jersey, you can sit somewhere else.
No, you can go ahead and sit at the table. You're just going to get crap from all of us the entirety of the match.
I don't think you're
tomatoes at me.
Yeah, basically.
You go ahead.
Drew's going to blow the vuvuzela right in your ear every 5 seconds.
America's 250 if I'm rocking a Bosnia jersey.
Disgusting is what that would be. I'll have my USA jersey on for
I'll be wearing
tonight.
what you see me on in the video stream right now. I got to do garage sale pickup from 2 to 4.
Yeah, don't
so
forget.
If you have items to pick up, I'll be here from 2 to 4 handing those things out. A couple people already emailed me. Say they're on their way.
This is our third and final official pickup. If you have not picked up, you can still email and get a specific time later within reason during our working hours. But this is the final scheduled pickup. Still a lot of items from some people. We appreciate those of you being patient on the pickups and everything. Hopefully you can make it out from 2 to 4. I know some of you picked up some stuff from Drew last week, from me the week prior, and Cody will be hanging out till 4 here. 7,000 Squib. That's the address for those of you wondering.
So I guess you just want to say what's up. I'll be here.
And bring him a Bosnia jersey, I guess.
Or water.
Gross.
It's going to be hot.
He'll be inside.
Yeah,
you'll get a good workout though, man. You'll get some steps in going up.
I've done this.
Yeah.
This is not our first rodeo for the Cody Gold
not.
garage sale. The wind sprinting up the stairs is just a part of the.
It's good.
Part of the action. If you warn me that you're coming, then I can at least. Try to haul
text
your
Cody
downstairs.
816-3. Just go ahead and send him a text. Yeah.
I'd still wonder if you'd change your number if I just gave your number out.
I would have to.
Have to?
Yeah, because somebody would sign me up for a bunch of stupid stuff, and
you just block them.
I wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want that either. Nobody wants their phone number. Like now, people can look up and find people's phone numbers very easily, but like you wouldn't want it blasted on the radio. That'd be a problem. I would have to change the number because somebody would somebody would text initially, but then down the road, someone would sign you up for some dumb thing, and ruin it. And nowadays, like your phone number's connected to like verification stuff for like it would be such a pain in the ass.
Stuff.
It would be such a pain.
Changing your phone number after as long as I've had
sure.
mine.
Yeah, I mean, you and I'm sure all three of us. We've had it since. I mean, I
think I was 20. I had a different number when I was like 21 or 22.
Yeah, I think
I lost a company phone.
I think I've had mine since I was in high school. Yeah. My phone number. I think my first phone, my sister and I shared our first, my twin sister and I, we shared our first phone. And I don't think that's the same number I have now. I'm pretty sure like when I was like 17, maybe I switched to my current provider and
that's just been
been the number. There's no reason to switch unless it becomes a problem like that. Thinking about our story from the guy that won $3 million at the slots, maybe if you win the lottery, Cody, then you can switch your number and just vanish.
I'll just block some people. Just make it easy. Let's talk a little bit of golf. Not really.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. You know, Jordan Spieth, overall, one of the bigger names in golf, and he was asked a question in fairness just about basically fans' interaction with some of the golfers and what has been going on. And he gave a reason, and it prompted a lot of backlash yesterday because, and you'll hear the clip, you'll know why in a second, because then people did some digging on his endorsements, and he, along with plenty of other golfers, are endorsers for FanDuel or other sports betting companies. So just listen to the clip and then we can dive deeper into this.
I mean, I think the one thing that I'll point out is I do think that betting in golf is something that's going to have to be tackled here soon because I don't know how much of, say, the Wyndham scenario was the fact that it was enticing to bet the field versus Wyndham on Sunday in a legalized betting state. And you could have had people out there that are essentially, you know, have $100 to $10,000, depending on who it is, on the field versus somebody else. And in golf, it's tricky because you could actually impact the outcome if you wanted to. It may not last very long, but you could impact a shot if you wanted to. I don't know of another sport that you could impact as a fan like you can golf. So I don't know how much that's having to do with it, if it's different than it used to be. I've also played rounds with guys who were not treated well 10, 15 years ago. So I don't think it's a crazy new thing. I do think the Bethpage Ryder Cup was, from what I understand, maybe a lingering effect from that. But I will say that from what I've seen, a lot of times it has to do with betting, and that is in the last 5 years. So we'll see what happens with that.
So that was Jordan Spieth. And look, for starters, I think we can all agree on this. I know we disagree on the topic of the whole. We'll get to it. But at the beginning, I think we agree, of course, are there in any sport, and certainly in golf as well, are there some idiots that bet on something and they're harassing or whatever an
Say
athlete.
awful things or threaten awful things. Yep.
I think
they
anybody
do.
denying that happens would be foolish. Of course that happens. And we just talked about it a week ago that the MLBPA wants to ban prop bets. I don't think that'll happen, number one, but also my answer to that was I just think we have to have stiffer punishments. Remember, these are state-by-state legalization things. So I think each state should have stiffer punishments. If you're someone that is verbally harassing or sending DMs to an athlete, no matter what sport, because you lost a bet, you shouldn't be sending an athlete harassing messages anyway, but you get my point. We're talking about sports betting. Then there should be much stiffer consequences than whatever it already is. Totally can get on board with that. I think where Jordan Spieth got himself in hot water a little bit yesterday, and the reaction has been on social media more so than I think on the normal media outlets, has been, well, he's an endorser for FanDuel. In fact, a majority of his tweets on his own Twitter account are promoting FanDuel. I mean, there's a post from back in April about, hey, Dallas Cowboys defense and a homer bet for the Dallas Stars. Am I asking too much? At FD Sportsbook, hashtag FD Partner, and it's a graphic of Jordan Spieth. In the graphic, Jordan Spieth's hot takes and his prediction for the champion of the NBA, Stanley Cup, and the Cowboys draft. Nobody's saying he can't endorse them, but you blaming a lot of things on sports betting while also collecting a check from sports betting, it is a little hypocritical. And I know, and I know, Drew, you're saying he's not the only one that said it, and that for whatever reason, his comments gained way more traction than John Rahm or anybody. I would say if they're also partners with FanDuel or DraftKings or BetMGM, whoever the company is, it's a little hypocritical to be acting like it's this major problem while also collecting a check. If you want to really stand on it, then I think there's other ways to stand on it. The PGA Tour should be the ones actually speaking more about this and coming out more strongly about it, because it does put, in fairness to Jordan Spieth, him in a tough spot, but it is a bit hypocritical of him.
It is, and the issue I have, and I guess we're like Drew and I not disagree, but like this is the thing I don't think we can know. He's saying we have to address gambling in golf, as in you want no betting on golf at all?
I don't think he
because
meant
the
it that
sport
way.
can be, well, but he did make it seem like particularly in this sport, you can impact the play more than other sports. Look, I don't want to get into the arguments of the other sports. It can be regularly impacted by fans or not, but like, okay. But like, then what does he mean? Does he just mean we need to work on the regulation around it? Because that is a fair, and like, I think we could all make arguments like you just said. I do want stiffer. If you ever send a DM to an athlete saying, I lost my parlay for you, you should be kicked off of all the apps. You're not responsible enough for this thing if you can't help yourself from harassing people or harassing people at a live sporting event. But to me, these are case-by-case ones. Some guy yells at, let's just say he yelled at Spieth while he's making a putt that I lost my parlay, because you kick him out, tell him he can't go to PGA events anymore. Like, I don't know that we need to just like, I don't know, change all of it just because of that.
The hard part that's different though about, and I think it was, I don't know if it was Rory or if it was somebody else that had talked about it, but the difference in like tennis, for instance, or golf, because it's more of an example, obviously, as we're talking about it, compared to the team sports, is they're not, the players are all there is. Like, there's no teams to bet on. So if you're not able to bet on players individually, then you're not, then what exactly are you betting on in golf? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know where you go in terms of how people how the sport handles it. Maybe you can only bet on the winner as opposed to all of the plethora of things that you can do.
But that wouldn't even change the Wyndham Clark thing necessarily. I mean, other than
correct,
because you could have bet on anybody but Wyndham Clark.
Yeah, right, for sure. So in terms of how I think golf has it harder than other sports. Tennis would have it harder just because the sports are individual sports. So they're not. If you're betting on an individual anyways. You're not betting on the team in particular.
But I guess that's prop betting for all these other ones. You know, I can bet on an individual baseball player or NBA player, or
but
I know they're not individual sports, but like NBA, man, I'm sitting just on top of them as in golf. Except for in the NBA, they don't police when I yell at players. Like, I can't yell.
They definitely police.
They've kicked out fans.
They definitely have kicked out fans.
They've kicked out fans
for all fans too. But like,
I will say
you got to cross a line. You know.
Yeah, but I will say in the NBA, it's happened more often here. It's happened more often. Here in the last 5 years, for sure, just because of a variety of different things. Going on to the Jimmy Butler, the guy's telling him, the guy's having a conversation mid-game with him and everything like that. The F your parlay meme that turned into be. But you're used to that sort of thing in the NBA anyways, where you're getting yelled at anyways. Golf, you're not getting you're not like in golf. You're not. It's not team based. So if Miami's traveling to the Garden and a guy in a Knicks uniform is yelling at you, you're expecting that. For Wyndham Clark in this example, he's not like him getting yelled at is just it doesn't. That's not golf fandom. It doesn't make any sense unless it's the Ryder Cup, where then you have the allegiances, and even if you don't like Wyndham Clark, you're not booing him or anything like that. I think that's out of pocket behavior because it's an individual compared to a team sense. So
I guess, but
that's where golf
I
think is different than
some of that is
tennis
just,
is.
Some of that's just like the gentleman's sport, and I'm supposed to just blindly agree that they can't handle the sports pressures that exist in a lot of other sports because that's not been the way the sport has been designed. It's been designed around like we're gentlemen and we don't boo or we don't do those things.
Yeah, but what are you you're not
booing them?
Why?
You know?
Why?
Because people don't like certain individuals.
People don't like other individuals.
It's
or like
I don't think every time there's someone booing a
team,
I don't think every time someone's booing a golfer or saying something in a golfer's backswing that it means they're betting against that golfer. I'm not saying it's never happened, but like we can't
said that.
Yeah, like we can't act like that's happening all the time. And again, my whole issue with this whole thing was just more that I think he's not the right messenger for it. Despite, yes, he's a golfer on the PGA Tour and he's a big name, sure. But when a majority of your social media account in the last 3 months, because he doesn't tweet very often, and that's fine, but like
he hasn't tweeted since last year, and he probably doesn't even run his account.
And look, you're not wrong. We know
responsible for his account.
We know athletes have PR people or agents that make promotional posts for them. That's not a new concept. You're not wrong. But that isn't immune. Like if it's on your Twitter account, you can't act like, oh, I had no idea. Yeah. He's getting a check some way, somehow from FanDuel, which is fine. Look, I endorse FanDuel as well, right? There. By the way, I can promise you there'll be consequences. You know, if all of a sudden you guys would be like, what are you talking? If I was promoting FanDuel and then on the show for the next 3 months, I was constantly telling you how sports betting is the worst thing ever for you and all this stuff, you'd be like, how can you say both? And that's my issue with Jordan Spieth. It doesn't make sense.
Jordan Spieth didn't say sports betting was bad, though.
I'm obviously giving a hyperbolic example.
I know, but I think that is the difference.
He said it's bad for golf.
No, he didn't. He said they need to tackle it because of some of the problems it has. You can, like, I think his opinion, he endorses betting. Of course he thinks betting on golf is good. Otherwise, he would have said betting on golf is a problem.
I think we're interpreting it differently. I think that there's looseness in the language.
He said they need to tackle it because there's a problem where you cross that line. There are tons of fans who bet on golf who have no problem. There's
he didn't put it that way, though. You're making, and I'm not saying you're wrong in interpreting that way. I'm interpreting it a different way than you are. I don't think you can say, as sure as you are, that is the way that he is interpreting it.
But
I could just easily say he hates betting for golf and he thinks that it should be eliminated from golf. If you can say,
he would have said that then. In my opinion,
but when he said the thing you just said, like that's the problem is that his comments were left to interpretation. My argument is not that you couldn't have the correct interpretation. You could, but I don't think it's as crazy to say that he wants all of betting out of golf altogether. He left it open to interpretation, I thought.
But if it's open to interpretation, then why is he getting slammed so much? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense.
Because he was openly taking a check while saying it was a problem. It just looks bad. Whether
so
he
is Max Homa, so is John Rahm.
They're hypocrites too. Then, as I said,
Justin Thomas. But it never was a big deal until now, which doesn't.
I didn't catch it.
I don't know.
But that's where
I can't speak to that.
But that's where it doesn't make any sense because the story that's crazy about this is Wyndham Clark. There was no betting going on, and Jordan said something about it. In Max Homa's case, there was betting going on, and it was a big story on ESPN. They talked about it. On ESPN, there's an article on ESPN. John Rahm spoke up about it. Rory McIlroy has countless times actually talked about it recently, and nobody has said anything when Rory's talked about it or John Rahm talked about it when it actually happened in an instance when a fan said, yo, I got $3 on you, don't miss this putt, and in his backswing yelled in the middle of the putt. And it was a whole hullabaloo because Max Homa went at the guy and was yelling at him and cussing him out.
What I would say is,
deal. So I don't know why it's a big deal now when other players who have betting endorsements are making the same comments.
I can't speak to why it didn't. I don't know why it didn't go viral, Drew, back then. All I'm saying is I would have the same opinion on. Yeah, you're telling me those players. I think Max Homa is hypocritical on this as well. Then I think John Rahm is hypocritical on this as well. Just because something didn't get into the Kansas City algorithm on Twitter doesn't. I mean, I can't. I have no idea why, Drew. Why it didn't for whatever reason. Like you, this is not even like truly just like. You produced the show. You didn't bring it up to our attention either. Like I don't know, man. Like we didn't bring
talk about golf very often.
But
also, it was from 3 years ago. I wasn't here yet.
My point was just like there's a lot of reasons why something doesn't get discussed on the show or national. I don't know why one quote goes more viral than another. There's a lot of
and maybe
factors.
that one was more viral then. I just don't remember because we did 3 years worth of shows.
And Max Homa also said he likes betting for golf. He thinks it grows the game.
Well, it absolutely does.
But there's a line to be drawn, and I think that's the same thing that Jordan said in terms of.
He didn't say all that though. He didn't say it was good. He was much more vague about it than.
But
Homa.
in terms of the explanation for why betting is a problem why gambling is a problem in golf, it's the exact same explanation with Rory and John Rahm and Max Homa and Justin Thomas, and everybody has been constant in what the problem is with betting in golf. Not that they shouldn't do it, but the problem is the line that's crossed and the influence that fans can have more so on the potential outcome, and that's been consistent for everybody. It's not just Jordan Spieth that's saying this. Rory McIlroy has said this.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we even talked about it on the show. Rory McIlroy, when he talked about gambling, this is like a few months ago, he brought up the exact same thing that Jordan Spieth is bringing up, and it was never a big problem. So I don't understand why all of a sudden it's a big issue when the biggest player in the game, second biggest player, and Rory McIlroy said it, but it was never a big deal, and then Jordan Spieth said it, and all of a sudden it's a bigger deal. I don't.
Yeah, I think in general though it's still even some of the it's still a bit flawed though because while sports betting has been legalized for 5 years, people have been betting on golf for 40 years. So that this
there's
idea,
a huge increase though. I mean,
for sure, but like this notion of
in terms of fan behavior is the main thing because players like on the course like hey.
Somebody went to the Masters back in 1999 and had a bookie and had $100 on somebody to win. I guarantee you. Now, maybe they weren't an a-hole then. I don't know. Like, I mean, so that's all that's why it can't just be this blanket statement all the way around. So we'll see what happens. Like, again, I think your issue more is like, why is Jordan Spieth getting heat? I don't really care about who's getting the heat for it. It's more just the topic of the conversation of like, in his particular circumstance, he has a bunch of tweets endorsing betting. So like, don't tell me, he shouldn't be the voice of sports betting on the golf course or not betting, or it's a problem if you're also collecting a check. It's just it puts him in a bad spot. He's not the right messenger, and neither is Max Homa or any of these other guys if they're the same ones doing it.
Yeah, it just creates a weird dynamic. Almost no way. And look, some of that's just like you got to be more clear about what kind of things you need to see. We all agree that there should be things in place that keep. There need to be better guardrails than there are now across the board.
All right, coming up next, guys, let's get to what's trending. Let's talk a bit more about some long-term options involving Vinny Pasquantino and the first base position for the Royals, plus more on what we think will happen tonight with the U.S. taking on Bosnia.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Feature therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For 250 years, America has been more than a place. It's been a promise, a story of courage, hope, and dreams. And through it all, local TV and radio broadcasters have been there, telling the story of America, bringing truth to light. Broadcasters tell the story of who we are and who we aspire to be. We are America's storytellers. We are broadcasters. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Dylan.
I actually used to manage a parts department for a car dealership, and we would get stuff from Rock Auto if I couldn't get it from my dealership suppliers. You pick the year, you go through all the drop-down menus, and it just makes it really easy to navigate and see what you want. Like a wheel bearing, for instance, for a Corvair that I have. Rock Auto's catalog made it really easy to find that specific one that I was looking for.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
Use Polymarket to trade the World Soccer Knockout rounds. Delete that sportsbook app that's robbing you and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app, use promo code FOX to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FOX. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Party at your place this summer? Fix things up inside and out with July 4th deals, now at Lowe's. Get up to 45% off select major appliances and save up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, save $80 on a select Charbroil Performance Series gas grill, now $299. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/8 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
If you're only good to your new friends, you're not going to have any old ones. Straight Talk gets it. That's why new and existing customers get free 5G phones on Verizon's 5G network. Pretty simple, really. You keep good people by being good people.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter.
Join 96.5 The Fan staff at the Peanut on State Line tonight with kickoff set for 7 o'clock.
Royals coverage is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City.
Brought to you by Blue KC is the Coaches with Character program. Do you know a rock star high school coach in your district? Nominate them for the Blue KC Coaches with Character program at bluekc.com/nominate coaches with character. Let's make our coaches feel special and make our community a better place to live, work, and play.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's trending?
Cheddar, mozzarella, Havarti.
Number one on What's Trending, the World Cup continues today. First match already in the books. England came from down 1-0 to Congo to come back and win 2-1. They advance to take on Mexico this weekend in the next round. Another game starts in about an hour and a half. That'll be Belgium and Senegal. It's relevant to the U.S. as the U.S., if they handle their business tonight, would take on the winner of that game. And, of course, at 7 this evening, USA taking on Bosnia. We hope to see you guys out at the Peanut on State Line. We'll be hanging out there throughout the entire evening. And I believe everybody from the station has committed to being there tonight. So it should be a good time. Looking forward to that. Having some wings, some drinks. Cody might sing the national anthem before the match starts. That might entice some of you to come. For others, might mean you show up a few minutes late.
That's fine. Come, so whatever one you want, I'll do.
Yeah.
Next up on What's Trending, in the latest round of proposals, the MLBPA suggests a couple of other rule changes to the potential collective bargaining agreement, including expanding active rosters from 26 to 28 players with a 14-pitcher max for the first 2 weeks of the season. Also asking that the optional assignments be reduced from 5 in season to just 3, thus keeping those guys on the roster, I guess, a little bit longer. Now, if you had 28 guys, you probably wouldn't need to option nearly as many during that time, and then some other like service time and salary protections for players. I will say, 28 seems unnecessary. I understand why they're asking for it. It's 2 more people making $1 million a year if they were to get their salary basement requirements. But 28, I mean, that's a lot of people sitting around not doing a ton of work. Or some pitchers who only pitch when the team's getting its teeth kicked in. So, like, I don't know what service you would serve other than just random vets there. That doesn't feel like the spot you'd use for younger pitchers, Gold. I'll say that, at the very least. Maybe you stash an extra starter. I don't know. Kind of a tough spot. But just one of the more recent proposals for Major League Baseball.
Elsewhere on What's Trending, Wimbledon underway. Singles action yesterday. Serena Williams lost. She still has a chance to play in the doubles with her sister, Venus, but it's in doubt right now due to a knee injury during the first round singles. Her agent saying that Serena tweaked her right knee at the end of the first set and was therefore excused from her media obligation. She left site that night unaided, doing everything she can to be ready for her doubles match later this week. So her knee is swollen, according to the BCC. She declined the offer of crutches, though. So she did. I don't need the crutches. So maybe that's a good sign. We'll see.
Happy to see her back, but yeah, a little sad that obviously she didn't get a win in the first match. Next up on What's Trending, 2 Royals minor leaguers will represent the Royals in the Futures game in Philadelphia on July 12th. One, Blake Mitchell, a name you're probably more than familiar with, and another one that you're going to be familiar with, Kendry Churio, the 18, maybe now 19-year-old, I think he's still 18. The 18-year-old who just got promoted to high A ball will also represent the Royals. He had a 1.88 ERA in his 11 starts in A ball. He got promoted. He's got a 5.06 ERA in high A, but I'll remind you, he's made literally 2 starts in high A, and his second one in high A, he went 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits, Golden, 1 earned run with 5 Ks. So he's been, honestly, he's a potential star for the Royals. He might be one of those guys who makes his debut by 20, which is young for a baseball player. Very young for a baseball player. There's a chance you see him in 2028. But still, he's very talented.
Assuming they don't use him for a trade, I hope not. But
Well, he'll have real value. Teams will be very interested in Kendry Churio.
That's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Just saw coming across as we were discussing tonight in the men's national team, tickets for the game, which is at Levi Stadium. That's in Santa Clara, the Niners Stadium.
Yep.
Or what are they? Or they call it San Francisco Stadium or Bay Area Stadium.
They probably call it Santa Clara Stadium because that's technically what it is.
But the get-in price is about $1,300. That's actually cheaper than the final cost for each of the 3 group matches. Not weird?
Interesting. Maybe it's the matchup. Maybe
it's heading into the holiday weekend.
What's the round of 32 going for this Friday? Have you checked?
Oh, here? Ghana, Colombia?
Cheapest ticket in the door. Looks like it's $900
for Friday night.
Man, someone got the hookup because I'd like to go to a World Cup match, but I ain't paying that.
You're not paying $900, Cody?
Nope. Cheapest for the quarters is.
We're even seeing $900. I'm on StubHub for 2, and
I saw one for $917.
$1,700.
Oh, maybe I don't have the with fees selected.
Oh, sorry. Maybe I'm on the wrong thing. You're good.
I was like, I saw $917.
I'm on the wrong thing. You're good.
The cheapest I see for...
I'm looking at something else, yeah.
The quarters are like $2,200, $2,300.
$2,100, for the quarters. That I have pulled up. July 11th. Could be messy again in Argentina. $2,100.
Some of y'all got some money. Oh, I mean, what do you do for a job?
or their company partners,
what you invest in. Someone help me out. What the hell do you guys do to earn all this cash?
Do you think you could you, there's no way in 3 weeks you couldn't do it. I was like, could you
like GoFundMe, a $2,100 ticket?
No. I was like, could you go, if you just signed up for like a DoorDash or Uber account, could
I make $2,000?
Could you drive enough in 2 weeks to get $2,000 to buy yourself a ticket?
I don't think so. I mean, you have to be door dashing. I have to take my job off.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you could, there's not enough hours in the day for you to do it with your current job. Yeah.
Yeah. If I quit my job, I guess I could, but
that would be counterproductive altogether. So, I mean,
I don't know. What's an average DoorDash person to make a day? 100, 200, $300? Maybe a good day, $300, $400. Average day between 1 and 2. I don't know. I mean, I don't actually know what the number is. But even if I worked, like the second I got off work every day at 2:00, I DoorDashed until 11:00. I'm still not sure I'm getting a quarterfinal ticket. And if I'm getting a quarterfinal ticket, it's one singular. I promise, if somebody's got a free quarterfinal ticket for me, I won't say a word the entire game. I'll shut up if that's what you want. I won't say a word. Draw a quiet. I won't say a single thing. Whatever it takes.
I know you say that. I don't think you'll be able to. At some point, you will.
I'll be quiet. Not a peep. I know that's hard to believe, knowing me, but I'll find a way. Let's talk a little bit about the U.S. match tonight, and then we can get into the Royals options with Vinny and Cags. But I think you and I, we both think it's going to be low-ish scoring, or do you like goals tonight? My instinct is that it's going to be low-ish scoring, and that the U.S. is going to just try to get by on this one with Bosnia before they open things up maybe later in the tournament, if they have that ability. They're favored pretty significantly, but look what just happened with England. They needed a goal from Harry Kane in the 75th and 85th minute order just to get past Congo, or things would have been a real sweat. So, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a tougher match than we think. So far in this round of 32, I think it's been saltier than people have anticipated in a few of these matches.
Yeah, I tend to think it's lower scoring. Who knows, right? I mean, if the U.S. is aggressive early, gets on them early, then I think there's a chance it actually is higher scoring, meaning Bosnia won't be able to pack it in. But the worry would be if Bosnia were to keep it 0-0 for much of the game, or they got out to a 1-0 lead, then all of a sudden, then the whole gameplay is way different. I think 1-0, 2-0 is very much in play tonight. Like if I were to do one of the prediction score market stuff, 1-0, 2-0 USA.
Drew, what do you think?
I think it'll either be 1-0 or 2-1.
Okay.
Just because I think if the U.S. can score first, then Bosnia is going to just go crazy.
They're going to try anything.
They're going to try really hard, which is going to open it up a little bit more for the U.S. So it might be 2-0, actually. I think I'll go 2-1, though.
It's really tough because I'm trying not to let the Paraguay win and their win cloud what I've seen. But the U.S. looked very good in 2 of their matches. And then they essentially just benched everybody against
but I think
Turkey.
2 people, yeah.
So it's hard. So it's hard for me to look at that Turkey match and feel like that gives me any indication of what kind of team they are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like that tells me any part of the story. But it would be embarrassing if they lose tonight. We'd be coming in the show tomorrow and be like, another failure by the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, it can't
Once
happen.
again, coming up way short. This is a relatively favorable draw for you for the round of 32. I'd liken it to, was it Trinidad and Tobago that they lost to?
Yes.
To fail to qualify for the World Cup back in 18 or whatever?
That's even worse.
It would be the second worst loss to that, probably.
Yeah, but it would feel like it would be barreling towards that. I know that was to miss the World Cup, but it feels like it would be on par.
No,
or not on par, but it'd be getting close to it.
Because it's stateside, this World Cup as well. Yeah, it would be an embarrassing result for the United States.
Sure.
There's no reason for them not to win tonight, and it would cloud all the good vibes and goodwill with the U.S. men's national team and what they have done, which has been very impressive in how they've performed. It would just ruin all that. So hopefully tonight they get the win, and then after that anything can happen, right? Then it gets really tough. Most likely, we'll see. Belgium and Senegal are going to play. Maybe there's an upset in that match, but most likely, Belgium will be waiting the winner, most likely, of U.S. Bosnia tonight.
What time's the Belgium game? When's that one?
3:00.
3?
Yeah.
Oh, that was today.
Senegal are really good too.
So we'll know.
Really
we'll know if it's Belgium or Senegal before the match even starts tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be locked in. Then I'll have to pay attention here starting at 3. Although I got to do a reminder, garage sale pickup today, 2 to 4.
Yes.
If you have any items that you won from the Cody Gold garage sale, if you have experiences, we'll continue to reach out to you about those and schedule times. But if you've won any items, 2 to 4 today is when I'll be waiting for you.
Someone was asking Cody if you've made any Bosnian food for the event tonight. I just looked up. Let me see.
If you did sing the anthem, it'd have to be the Bosnian anthem, actually, is what you
That's because he's rooting for Bosnia. Yeah. True. That's true.
That would be the
Bosnian anthem.
What is this? The unofficial national dish? Is that, I don't know how to pronounce that. Savapi?
Don't know that one.
Small grilled mince meat sausages served inside warm flatbread, spongy flat with chopped onions and clotted
Kind of like
cream.
a gyro-y thing?
I'm looking at a photo of it. Maybe, yeah. Another name I can't pronounce, savory spiral-shaped pastry made of thin dough. The classic version is filled with minced meat. It's a lot of minced meat stuff. Okay.
A lot of like stews and minced meat.
Bosnian pot, a hearty, slow-simmered meat and vegetable stew.
Well, I don't have time to make that. It's too late for that.
Yeah, you would need a day for that.
Traditional Bosnian meat dumplings, often steamed, served with garlic and sour cream sauce. Okay. Baklava is listed. We know that. You can do that. You did that before.
I can't do that today.
Not now, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Grilled
minced patties is the number one thing though in Bosnia, I guess.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind for the next time.
That won't be on the menu at the Peanut. I'll go wings. I'll go something else. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make sure to give Carrington a hard time too. I'm going to joke with him a little bit about the wing stuff.
The grilling?
For those who didn't hear the story.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah. So we were up at the north.
I missed a lot.
We were
at a very funny moment that Carrington has actually apologized to me for.
We were at the Northland Peanut. It was packed, had a great time. And again, hope to see you at the State Line location tonight. And Drew was ordering wings. Go ahead, Drew. You were ordering wings at one point.
Yeah, I'd never been to the Peanut before. I knew that the wings were good, but I was looking at the menu. I was like, Carrington, where are the flavors of the wings? And he just burst out laughing. He was like, there's just one wings. There are no flavors or anything like that. So eventually I order the wings. And after I order them, Carrington goes, hey, but by the way, and the waitress comes over. He's like, can you believe this guy just asked what flavors of wings what flavors of wings you guys have? She walked over with a piece of paper. They have multiple flavors of wings at the Peanut. And it was a hilarious
the
moment.
Peanut, the most
famous for known for buffalo wings.
Buffalo, but Carrington was making it seem like
they didn't even offer a different flavor of
Cody,
wing.
there was no flavors on the menu. There are no flavors.
Yeah, well, they make the buffalo ones more often, but they offer other wing flavors if needed.
I didn't know that because I had been told from Carrington
and Carrington shamed you?
They only offer one.
He did.
He did shame me, and then he got corrected, and then he apologized to me afterwards. So I'm gonna have to give him a hard time and see what flavor of wings he's ordering later on.
You got to get a different kind. I might get that. I also am a big fan of the BLT over it.
I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So I don't know what I'm getting. Right. I don't know what I'm getting.
Might go BLT. Might go wings.
The wings were very good when I had them. Yes.
Yeah, they're one of the.
That's what they're famous for sure.
That's what they're very well known for. Last time I went to the Peanut for wings, I think it was with Sam Mellinger of all people.
Oh, really?
I think I randomly was.
There you go.
He's a big fan of the Peanut as well, I believe. So we'll be out there, State Line tonight, starting at 7:00 for the match. We'll have a good time out there. Drew, I promise to probably not sing a national anthem for either country.
No, I think you should. I think it would be a memorable experience for all of us that we definitely could talk about on the show.
I've sung the national anthem as a part of a choir. So I did the national anthem more in the.
I can't remember. Were there people
the lower of the 4-part harmony?
Well, I can't remember when we were there. Were there people were people singing the national anthem in the Peanut?
A little bit, yeah.
So there you go, Cody. You could be a part of the choir of.
Yeah,
the Peanut
there was people stood up and sang the anthem a little bit.
What?
Yeah.
Do I get to do the part that I used to sing?
Like there was a USA chant that happened during.
Do I get to do the bottom part of the 4-part harmony, or is it just everybody singing the same way?
Everybody was singing the same way.
But you could go ahead and do the 4-part harmony.
I bet I still remember it. I had to do it like 70 times.
Why not add your musical gifts to the Peanut anthem tonight? I think that'd be great.
Oh, sing. Can you see?
I'm already uncomfortable with
Let's go.
By the dawn's early light. That's how it went when you were doing the bottom part.
It would not be worse than this.
No, God, no. I will say, it's so funny. We were talking about like booing and stuff when it would come to Spieth. My daughter, like her dance friends and all that other stuff, one of the things they do when they're goofing around with each other when somebody does something they don't like is they say, boo, boo, tomato, right? Like so they do that amongst the group. And the other team, they're playing 7-year-old basketball on Saturday, and the other team made a basket, and she yelled, boo, boo. No, we don't boo 7-year-olds. We don't boo the opposing team at youth basketball.
She's had some moments to make you. She's had some moments here the last couple of days. Yeah.
The last week.
That one's not
trying to
nearly
embarrass me.
That one's not nearly as embarrassing as the other one.
Well, that one's worse.
Who knew? When you go to Costco, it has people asking questions about sex.
The birds and the bees at Costco. Yeah,
I know I was going to have that conversation eventually. I just wasn't planning on having it in the frozen food aisle at Costco.
It's unbelievable.
I was trying to avoid it longer in my life, if at all possible. Let's talk a little Royals baseball before we get out of here. And then obviously tomorrow will be our last show of the week because we're off for 4th of July observed on Friday. So sorry we'll miss a show on Friday, but I'll be back on Monday after the holiday. But it didn't seem like I got as much disagreement, which is good. When I talk to some people, I think they see what Jack Caglione is doing, which is fair, and saying, well, then maybe they don't need Vinny in the long run. And my argument is, no, they need Vinny even more. And I know that doesn't make sense in the sense that Caglione's doing well. But if this team is going to compete next year or the year after that, Gold, they need more offense, not less. And Jack Caglione being good only strengthens the argument of Vinny being here too and returning to the form that he was before he was getting hurt or the previous 2 seasons only bolsters their chances to do so, not hurts it. And even if you did find a good trade partner, the return for the injury wouldn't help. But even if, let's say in the offseason, someone's willing to give you what they would have before, I'm not willing to do it because the best possible return is essentially another player like Vinny. Why also give up on cheap, controllable talent that hits well for you near the middle of the order in a time when maybe you got 1 or 2 other guys, Carter Jensen, Jack Caglione hitting, maybe you can build up a good lineup, a better than league average lineup if this all goes to plan. I have no interest in trading him.
Well, a couple things. But one, now with, unfortunately, the injury for him, and I think it's pretty obvious he was not good this year, the value for him in a trade in the offseason is not going to be anywhere near what I would need back in return. That would make it a better situation for my franchise in 27 and beyond. Now, if you would have told me he was healthy and he was hitting 275 and he was on pace for 35 homers,
I gotcha.
There would be an argument that could you get multiple pieces back that overall are better. But that scenario does not exist. And so, no, I mean, you're way better off keeping him, moving on, and having him in your lineup in 2027 with Cags. Long term, I still have no problem if Cags one day and 2 years from now or whatever is your first baseman. He's played first base more than any other position. To his credit, he's gotten way better as a right fielder.
You play out the contract the way you're talking in that.
Yeah, because the value for Vinny, I mean, with all due respect to him, he's tweeted about it as far as his play this year. Like, he's not had a good season. So you would not be able to get it. He's more valuable to you than what he would be to anybody else at this point in time.
And in the effort of being transactional, something we've called for the franchise to do, and they're doing a little bit more than they were doing under Dayton Moore, but I wouldn't exactly call them transactional. Are there any of the young players you'd be willing to move? Like, would you take a call on Michael Garcia? Who are the untradables for you?
Bobby, Cags, Jensen. That's about it.
Okay. So it's a short list for you. Any of the pitchers that you would just leave off the list for now, or they're all? I mean, you can't trade Reagans or Bubic anyway at the moment. But
that's the other problem, Cody. Is in a year normally when your team bottoms out and isn't any good, you can say, we can trade away the expiring contracts, we can trade away some vets. Reagans is hurt, not tradable. Chris Bubic will set back. It sounds like we'll see. So maybe untradeable. Carlos Estevez non-existent in 2026, not tradable. He reportedly had another setback as well.
Oh, I missed that
from Andy Rogers. I think I saw last night. Shoulder, I think maybe.
Okay. Well, he's not pitching this year.
So we can keep going. So a lot of these pieces that you maybe would have been able to get something back for are untradeable. The guys they're going to end up trading, the Lane Thomases, etc. You're getting back what? Some unranked prospect, essentially.
Sometimes it works out.
Maybe an organization's 20th, 30th best prospect. If I might be generous.
Sometimes they've gotten guys like Bergert or Kolek back on trades that essentially didn't seem much. I'm sure even at the time for Chapman, they didn't know that they were getting the early returns for Reagans. Obviously now, because the arm is falling off, it's not exactly working out in the end. And so, it's the kind of player, sometimes I don't like when people are suggesting trades to create problems where they already have problems. Yeah, you know what? Just go ahead and trade away offensive players when they already can't score. No, I need more offense in the system, not to have to replace the guy who's been hitting in the middle of the order and find more offense. That's a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, there's an argument, though, Vinny should maybe not be hitting in the middle of the order anymore.
No, but he wouldn't be hitting worse than 5th or 6th, even if he was out of the middle of the order. Yeah. He'd still be above Salvador Perez. That's a whole nother conversation we could have. This the last year for Salvador Perez in the Royals uniform?
I don't think it will be, but this goes, the decision to extend him after last year and his role on the team.
It's not aging well at the moment.
Yeah, no.
And the Carter Jensen stuff's going to have to be in there and all the other stuff. And congrats to him, by the way, for a 20-game.
But I think the argument for being willing to trade, you were asking me who would I not even throw on the list. The argument for being open to trading anybody other than Jensen, Cags, and Bobby in the offseason is that you can't just run this bad boy back. Can't. Player-wise, all the way around, there has to be some changes involved.
I guess just Vinny wouldn't be the change I made.
Fine.
And we've openly discussed, to me, I know I have a bias when it comes to him. This is baseball related, not bias related. And so, in a way, it's just, I've seen this before and we've talked about this. I think that this is the quarterback conundrum sometimes in football, where Sean Barber, for instance, had suggested to Drew many times that they should trade away Joe Burrow in search of something better than Joe Burrow. And I'm like, you ain't getting better than Joe Burrow.
Yeah, that's
that's not on the table. And so if they traded away Vinny, even if it was long term, maybe they got they're not getting better than him in the next 3 years. So unless this goes back to the Walker thing where you run into a problem, unless you're punting on next year too, I don't see the benefit for some of these guys. There are players in which you might get enough return.
And that's what I'm saying. Now I would not consider trading Vinny because I think the return would suck. So in the offseason, so
honestly,
this past offseason, the return would have been way better back in February. And I'm not saying they should have traded him in February. My point is, there's a difference when we talk about it now. Now, I absolutely wouldn't trade him because I'm just not getting enough in return. But I would not have been if he was hitting really well and healthy. He would be someone I would take calls on, but that's not where they're at now.
Yeah. Hey, former Jayhawk Kelly Oubre has just agreed to a 2-year deal to go with the Pacers.
Ah, Drew.
You and Drew's worlds colliding.
Kelly Oubre.
Let's go. I like Kelly Oubre. He's a good vet to have.
What did you think about his Kansas tenure?
It was fun. I mean, the team overall wasn't necessarily. I would say maybe his max output as you would have liked directly, but yeah.
Is it? Do we? Can we all
He's been
agree?
in the league how long now?
Can we all agree that it's really?
Yeah, he's been in the league since 2015.
Yeah. Can we all agree that it's really slimy that these insiders do the agent shout outs in these reports?
They all do it.
Shams is just
I don't like it.
They all do it.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Drew. It feels slimy. I don't, it just feels wrong. They all do it. I'm not arguing that. But I don't.
Shams is also the only guy now because it was obviously Woj and him. Now there's no Woj and it really is just Shams. I mean, there's some other guys like Mark Stein and other people, but Shams is the main guy now.
Yeah. Woj got out the game.
He's at St. Bonaventure.
Now he's yelling at refs or whatever at the St. Bonaventure.
Everybody's a fan once they get the chance to be, Uh-huh. They all just turn all